No mai harama ki Tairāwhiti Gisborne, and welcome to H BlackBee Drift Park for round 4 of the D1NZ National Championship presented by GT Retail and Tairāwhiti Trust. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, the place is full, and they are ready for the Pro Division in the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. Stephen McIvor with Joe Maulder. We've just come off on our Overseer TV streaming, and we've seen Blake Miles wrap up the Pro Sport Championship and the round. What did you see with him over the weekend and this season so far? Why he is so deserving of that Pro Sport Championship?
There is nothing that can shake that boy. He just sets and forgets. He said he's made no adjustments to the car between any of the rounds. So he's so comfortable in the platform that lays under him. And he certainly deserved to lay it down Q1, P1 and take out the championship.
Yeah, he is at one with his car. The track itself, we've been talking about it all weekend, wherever you have been watching us on socials or otherwise. This, I think, is a form horse track we need to come back to because people are sitting on top of it and experiencing. But as a technical track, it's a killer.
I must say, we love coming to every event, but this one is just one of those out-of-the-box ones. The drivers love it. It's technical, it's precise, there's walls, but it's something that suits everyone. And the crowd, they're right there on the wall ride.
The community has got right into it. Even the mayor, Riet Stolz, yesterday took a run with... Sean Potros. Had an absolute blast, said, we're loving it, bring me more. She loves the smoke show, your mayor, so does everybody else. And the locals have got right behind this whole 9 yards. Okay, now, Pro. Dave Steedman is our current leader in the championship. Just behind him, Connor Halligan, who set the highest ever qualifying score that we understand under this current format of 99.16. Are we talking now, Ben Jenkins about 100 and something points behind? Are we talking a 2 or 3 horse race going in?
Well, unfortunately we've got Luke Fink, who doesn't seem to be in that horse race now.
No, he's out.
So he won't be gunning for that. Ben is going to have a hard charge this afternoon. His first battle is up against Adam Davies, and that's not going to be easy. So will that leave Connor and Dave to run away with it?
I think the one thing that we saw early on with no wind, so a lot of the drivers who were in the chase they were blind, right? I think maybe the pros have got the advantage now. There's a little bit of a breeze coming through, but it's making it a hell of a job for the chasers. And
for the judges. So we're relying on those drones. It's an epic amount of smoke that they're laying. They come around one zone, they come back around on each other. They can barely see, so they've really got to trust in that muscle memory that they are able to do exactly what they've been doing, even when they can't see where they're going.
The sun is streaming down here on the beautiful East Coast. What a magnificent place to be in. We're at H BlackBee Drift Park, a brand spanking new track. And Boss and the team here at H BlackBee have done a magnificent job. So why don't we take a look at this magnificent drift park, courtesy of the magnificent work done by Bodie Motorsport.
This weekend, the D1NZ New Zealand Drifting Championship Series makes its way to the East Cape of the North Island for the first time ever. Tairāwhiti Gisborne welcoming us to the new H BlackBee Drift Park. It will be a brand new course layout on offer this weekend for round 4 of the 2026 season, the first of 2 stadium-style layouts for the year after some very fast drifting at Teretonga Park and Pukekohe Raceway. The judges have cooked up 5 outside scoring zones with this layout, all outside zones for this event, and the concrete walls are always lurking. Time now for a virtual D1 lap of the track thanks to Logitech. Standing start with the lead car in the right hand lane, a chicane to power on entry into the first outside zone on the right hand side starts the course, settling the car and powering on to the second outside zone, making sure not to drop wheels off the track or end up in the concrete wall. Holding a smooth fluid arc to OZ3 and into the first transition, with judges looking for a snappy switch on the natural line into outside zone 4. This will be a decel zone on approach, and this is where the rear wheels of the car need to be, filling this zone as much as possible before the long stretch and transition to outer zone 5. Good throttle use with minimal handbrake will be rewarded here. The last outside zone again where the rear wheels need to be, opening the door for the chase car to get up on that A-pillar. Our judging officials this weekend are all former drivers. 4-time D1NZ champ Darren Kelly is our line judge this weekend. Taylor James overseeing angle scores with series veteran Andrew Redwood scoring for style with Joel Counter. Keeping an eye on competition as our driving standards observer and review judge for 2026. The penalties to look out for at Gisborne: no switchbacks at OZ5, with the judges also penalising for slowing up too much on the entry. Left foot dabs are okay, but as for most events, excessive left foot braking will be marked down this weekend. Wheels off track is always one to look out for. We want to see smooth flowing tandems with no bobbles, drivers able to approach the A pillar in the chase, but cutting your line too early or being offline in the lead will hand you a penalty. The judges have been clear though, they want to see close battles, and proximity will be king here at round 4.
Well, that magnificent work done by Modi Motorsport on that virtual track reminds us that the Logitech virtual D1 competition starts 11th of April, runs all the way through with winter. Here's the cool thing, though. The winner of our virtual D1NZ will win a GR86 to run in Pro Sport in the 2027 season. So D1NZ.com, get in there now. Judge Andrew Redwood joins me right now. Can we just quickly switch back to Pro Sport for a start? What have you guys loved about how Blake Miles has gone about his championship?
He's basically just read what we've said in the criteria every round and just matched it on his first or second lap out of the gate. And he's just stuck to that the whole time. So consistency and also aggression, and he just carries that through the whole event. He had a few struggles yesterday in practice, but then he just cleaned it up for qualifying and obviously for battles right to the top.
You're an ex-driver. You know what it's like to get out there and send it. He told us they don't fiddle with the car too much. He just hops in, it's set up nicely, and away it goes. It feels like that's a rarity, but it's also his secret sauce.
Yeah, I mean, if you're constantly chasing something or trying to get a bit of something different, but if it just works right out of the gate and you can just carry on, that's the best thing as a driver.
Alrighty, you had a hand in helping design this track for the judges, correct?
Yeah, we spent a decent bit of time. We had aerial views and a few of the photos down here. It's just the actual size of this track wasn't apparent until we actually came here and saw it, and we said, wow, this is a huge place, it's great to have it, and we can pretty much design anything we want. So as much as you want to design here, but also keeping 2 tires under control till the end of those rounds.
I got to say, you've done a magnificent job, because it almost looks like, from a fan perspective and a racing perspective, the perfect track where you don't give anyone an advantage and they need to work their asses off to get it right.
Yeah, I mean, we showed up and it's just amazing. The whole crew here, H BlackBee and everyone that's put their last 2 to 3 weeks into effort of getting this place sorted. It looks great and it's making for a great spectacle.
All right, for folks that are getting ready now for the Top 32 and the Pro Division, what are you going to be looking for? Because they're going to try and challenge the track probably a bit more than the Pro Sport lads.
Yeah, I mean, better tires, so they're going to be going faster. There's going to be more changes in speed, a lot more smoke. We've got some good wind today to clear that out of the way, but it's just going to be pretty much the same thing you saw in Pro Sport, faster, more challenging for the chase driver to stay in out of that smoke line.
All right, we're looking forward to this. I've got a special guest who's trying to hide from us. I'm going to just walk in front of you. I'm going to take this here, excuse me. This is Boss. This is Boss. That's a microphone. But hey, congratulations, by the way. The work that you and the crew have done at H BlackBee is off the chain. Now that you've seen it, what are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing, eh? Massive shout out to Tairāwhiti as well. My nephew and old Joe burning around on the scooter. They've been here doing the hard mahi, and it's beautiful, eh? It's turned out good. And it sounds like everyone's loving the track too and the vibe. Well,
what about you? I mean, you've got your magnificent pavilion out there, but you have gracefully given this magnificent facility to produce this. What are your initial thoughts when you saw it set up and the first cars go around it?
Pretty overwhelming, especially for my nephew. Just seeing all these pro drivers here as well, here in Gizzy, seeing it here at home was just a massive reality. Cool, and yeah, it was really amazing to watch too, and seeing everyone have a good time.
Boss, does it surprise you that the crowds have come out for this? Is this something that's really good for the community?
Definitely positive. Hopefully everyone sees the positive side of it, like the professional side of drifting and all of that stuff, and we just need a lot more positivity here at home, because we have been going through a lot of floods and all of that stuff which has been affecting us here at home, and bringing this here has been amazing, so hopefully we can keep it going.
So in many ways for you, it's a small way of giving back to a community that's doing it tough, right? And let's talk about Weddard. So I interviewed him on radio the other day.
Yeah.
He's a great cat. He's having car troubles, I know.
Yeah.
We're going to see him out there. For him, and what you know of him, how important was it to actually just do this here?
Oh, for my nephew, this is huge. This was massive for him. But the hard part for him was helping do the layout, doing all of that. So he's been putting in a lot of hard work, and then he hasn't really been focusing on his driving. So, but he's really loving it here, and he's loving the vibe, so it's cool. Yeah.
So it feels good. Can we come back if it works out next year? Because I love this place.
Definitely, yeah. We have a talk to Tairāwhiti and a few people, and if the whānau all love it, definitely. Yeah.
All right, Gisborne, how much you give it up for Boss from H BlackBee? Make some noise, folks. Made this thing happen, mate. Congratulations. A big number here from all of us here at D1NZ for being able to let us do this.
Yeah. No, thank you, fellas, too. And like I said, massive shout out to all my whānau, all friends and family that have all come for all of this, and massive shout out to Tairāwhiti and all our sponsors and all my family up there, and yeah, everyone have a good time.
Well spoken, buddy. Well spoken. There you go. There's Boss, the boss of H BlackBee Drift Park. 2 microphones. I'm a little greedy. All right. If you want to know how this works, take a close look.
Welcome to the 2026 season of the D1NZ New Zealand Drifting Championship. This is your competition format for the weekend. And as we saw at round 1 and 2, there are some big rule changes this year. Line, angle and style are the scoring criteria which contribute to a qualifying score out of 100. There is a new points weighting system in place for 26. Line now making up 60% of the total score, with both angle and style now making up 20% each of the total score. After qualifying, the drivers are then set into a seeded battle tree, battling through the top 16, top 8, top 4 semi-finals, and then the final battles for the podium. The biggest rule change for 2026 will see the higher qualifier get lane choice on the start line, choosing to either lead or chase first during the battle phase. The tandem elimination scoring reverts back to a more traditional system this season. Each driver has a turn at leading and chasing during the battles, aiming to set or better their qualifying performance. The tandem scores are marked against each driver's lead and chase run, comparing lead for lead, chase for chase, culminating to a win, lose or sudden death OMT to find the winner. And that is your format for the 2026 D1NZ Drifting Championship, live this weekend from the new H BlackBee Drift Park.
So that's how it works here at H BlackBee Drift Park here in Tairāwhiti Gisborne. Joe Maulder to jump back in because we want to talk about that initiation to turn 1. So many times I've seen, particularly in the chase, if you don't get it wrong, you are chasing all afternoon.
That's right. And we noticed with the pro sports, they're not as aggressive through that first zone initiation. We're going to see it quite different with the pros. They are going to lay it as sticky as possible around that whole outside of turn 1. Same as when they come into turn 5, we know that both the cars, lead and chase, are both going to be touching those concrete walls, just a bit deeper than the pro sports.
Yeah, and the other thing too about when you come off that first turn, it drops off. So the drivers, it's subtle drop, but they're really having to work it from get-go here.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of off camber that you can't tell when you're looking at it, but when they're driving it, they really feel it. Their cars fall away and they're having to really put their foot down to bring themselves back up around the course.
The championship fight continues in round 4 of D1NZ here at H BlackBee Drift Park, brought to you by GT Radio and presented by Tairāwhiti Trust. Let's just give you a wee reminder of the season so far.
To tell the tale of the tape for the championship fight in the 2026 D1NZ Pro Series. Conor Halligan from Taupō kicking things off, taking pole position in the Deep South, the opening event of the season at Tairāwhiti Park. A big crowd in attendance to see defending champion Luke Fink from Australia continue his attack on Kiwi soil.
Sorted out now, and here comes Fink attacking Whangadan.
Conor Halligan battled his way to the final with plenty of aggression. Tauranga's Dave Steedman fending off the 2JZ attack to take the win for the RBs and first blood for the season.
Be enough to claw back a bit. Oh, bit of a tap there by Conor, and he's straightened up.
Dave Steedman wins round 1 of D1NZ here at Tairāwhiti.
And then this track is insane. We into that second lap, there's just no tyre left, but hey, we're having so much fun. So.
Very hot. We got some fixing to do. I think the radiator's cracked. We had that happen yesterday, so but second place, like with the day we've had, yeah, stoked.
Round 2 continued the fast-flowing action in the Deep South with a reverse layout at Tairāwhiti Park. Connor Halligan again on the hunt for victory, but the car was getting battered and bruised, unable to make the final with young gun Braden Mayer.
So here it is, the coronation lap for your round 2 champion, Braden the Nightmare, Braden Mayer.
And for the very first time, he stands on the top set with his first pro round win. You know him, you love him, it's the Nightmare, Braden Mayer. Mate, you put on a great show today. Congratulations on your first top step.
Thank you, and I'd just like to thank Mum and Dad at the Authentic Honeyco, Moon Civil and Drainage, Peterson Shutter Trimming, Fastlane Spares, Dre Sprays, Jeff's for the fiberglassing, and JT Performance.
After the first 2 rounds, it was Dave Steedman leading the series standings heading into the farewell showdown in Auckland. One final time at Pukekohe Park Raceway, the 200km/h entry speed serving up all sorts of drama with changing weather conditions throughout the weekend. Connor Halligan second in the points table, topping qualifying in the rain.
Another pole position.
Oh man, I'm stoked on that. It's been an emotional roller coaster the last couple of days. We had nothing but troubles with the car, some major gearbox problems. I pumped my tyres up and just tried to make the car easier to drive, to be honest. That was sort of my approach to the wet.
Well, congratulations, Connor. You take out the #1 qualifying spot and you get the G-Shock watch to prove it.
Day 2 served up a dry track for round 3 of the D1NZ Championship fight. Driftmasters champion Lauri Heinonen in the lineup as an international wildcard in the JDM 180 SX.
Oh, a bit of contact there.
Connor Halligan was right in the thick of battles with Australian Luke Fink leaving his mark and staying in contention for a title defence. The man on fire though was series leader Dave Steedman in the Mimico Hydrolink S14. Round 3 serving up another fight for the championship.
1 and 2 in the current season standings.
Dave Steedman in the lead, Connor Halligan in the chase. He's right there with Dave as they come up to the Link ECU initiation zone, and big run by Dave there.
Connor's gone.
I can't see him.
Connor's gone on the grass, 4 off.
What the hell happened in this smoke?
No, I just got that entry a little bit wrong, and obviously a little bit of timing matters on that entry. So yeah, I was in the smoke, just held it flat, and then didn't know where I was, so made a guess, but yeah, it was too early, ended up on the grass. But.
I'm having some fun now, mate. That was pretty sick. First time I've actually had a decent chase, so thanks, Connor, for putting down a pretty epic lead. And, you know, that's what makes it possible, and yeah, Puke is sick when you get it.
Third place for the weekend would go to Ben Jenkins in the Phoenix S15, not without a bit of rivalry with defending champion Luke Fink.
But Luke Fink is right there, and he's going to make a nuisance of himself. Keisuke. Ben Jenkins opens up the door for Luke Fink to come back and attack him. Luke Fink tucks down to the inside. Ben Jenkins keeps the door open, transitions nicely through to the end. Oh, where did Luke go? Where did Luke go? Just shot off straight to the inside. He's 4 off.
Oh, yeah, that's
biffed hard.
Couple of arms broken there for Luke in the front right.
And yeah, coming into that switchback, they said out hit that clip, and from that clip you've got to be on throttle. Homie just didn't get on the throttle, and I was sort of just sitting there waiting, and I just couldn't wait any longer. It was literally just as I hit him, he got on throttle. It was like, it's a tough one, obviously. The judges will have to look at it more. But
I never come out of a battle with Fink unscathed, but yeah, they put him at fault, and damn right so. You have to slow up there. It's a 200k/h corner, and he's just misjudged it. I heard he's having a bit of a sook over the live, but we got the 10, he got the fault, and we're going to give it a go to fix it, and we're going to try and put on a show. But yeah, I don't know why. We always have contact, me and Luke, all around the world. There's the legendary Lauri Heinonen, the Finnish DMEC champion. Off the line they will come. Dangerous Dave will jump on the loud pedal, and Lauri Heinonen will make a nuisance of himself. He will stick right to the inside. He will make sure that Dave knows he's right there. They will initiate Keisuke Nagashima. Conditions a little bit unpredictable. We are into the final. And Dave as well. And Lauri hits him. Lauri makes contact, and you can hear the rev limiters engage there, and that has got very ugly.
The final battle at Pukekohe would see Dave Steedman take on the international wildcard, a passing rain shower throwing up drama and ultimately handing the victory to Finland's Lauri Heinonen.
And we have to have a winner. Who's it going to be? Lauri Heinonen.
The entry is so hard. It is just so tough. Yeah, you have a pretty nasty track.
Dave, this will be big points for the championship, mate. I mean, I know it's been up and down, but the fact of the matter is I know you love drifting. You love Pukekohe. It's a podium for the final time at Pukekohe. Is it an emotional moment for you?
Oh, very much so. I've got my family here supporting. That means so much. Thank you, guys. Takes my breath away. But I just battled Lauri Heinonen. in the finals of D1NZ. How cool is that, you know, that D1NZ to pull that off, you know, and all of these international drivers, hey, I might get to do it again in the GP later, we'll see.
So after round 3, this is how the championship points stack up for 2026. Dave Steedman leads the series with 264 points ahead of Connor Halligan in second with 236. Ben Jenkins now third overall from defending champion Luke Fink. How will the title race go down heading into round 4 in Gisborne on a brand new track layout? This is D1NZ 2026.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to Tairāwhiti Gisborne. It is round 4 of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship, and we are about to kick into action. With me in the commentary box, Keisuke Nagashima, and we are about to go into the top 32, my friend. Tell me, you see this tree here in front of you. What are you eyeing up as the key battles this afternoon?
I mean, the key battles are going to be where Connor ends up, Dave ends up, Ben ends up. So obviously Ben is in the top 24 against Adam Davies. That's going to be a hard battle to determine what happens. Obviously Dean Young, Mike Thorley, Brody and Johnny as well. It's going to be like the left-hand side is going to be great and the right-hand side is going to be even better.
Yeah, really interesting. Connor Halligan and Dave Steedman on completely opposite sides of the tree. They are separated at the moment by 28 points. Then there are about 6 drivers all within range of that third step of the podium as we build it to Bay Park, and we are underway already. Keisuke Nagashima, it is RHP's Clayton Daly, LS6 underneath the bonnet with the big super, the big long car, initiating right out to outer 1, outer 2, gets out to outer 3, brought to you by Trust Tairāwhiti this afternoon, and we are underway with the clouds of smoke billowing skyward. Keisuke Nagashima, Clayton Daly with an over rotation, and Adam Whitehead in the chase position there, abortive action, and he has got out of that because of Clayton's actions out front of him.
Yeah, no, you're right, Warren. I mean, Clayton was doing so well up to that point. I mean, I think he just over-committed, over-rotated, and then unfortunately it was what it was for Clayton. But Adam Whitehead doing a very, very good job in the chase there just to manage to not hit him. So as we watch the GT radio replay here, Clayton fills the zone very, very well out of zone 1, 2 and 3. Adam Whitehead doing a good job. Could have had a little bit more proximity there. Good switch at the same time. And here is where it goes all wrong for Clayton. He just over-rotates as he comes around, and Adam doing a good job not to hit him. So
I thought going into that first corner, Keisuke, I don't know if this replay will come up again, but tell me if they're driving to an outer white line instead of that yellow line that they should be on the track. I think Clayton was actually really deep through those zones in turn number 1, so I think that threw his rhythm off through the whole track. We talked a lot about rhythm through the course of the weekend, and it's now going to be up to Clayton Daly to force some sort of mistake out of the Pertec sponsored machine from AW Drift in the Hawke's Bay, the real Bay apparently. Hawke's Bay all day, black and white. All right, Adam Whitehead out front for Pertec. He has that machine singing on the long tyre. He is turning them into clouds. He is delivering that lead run he needs to. Opens the door up for Clayton Daly in the chase position. Adam Whitehead gets right. Clayton's gone. Clayton is gone and he will zero out. Now Adam Whitehead does have to complete this run.
That's correct.
Adam Whitehead must complete this run. It is part of the rules of leading in D1NZ. You must complete a run in order to bank a score. If you're in the chase position and you fall out of drift, then you do not have to complete that run. So yeah, unfortunate way to start things off for Clayton Daly there. We'll take a look at the replay, Keisuke. Is there something in just the flow or the rhythm?
Yeah, whether the cars aren't set up, or I don't know, maybe it could be nerves. I mean, it's one of those things, right? It's the first battle of the day for the pro class here as we watch the GT Rail replay. Yeah, Adam doing a very good job out in the front there, hitting all the zones, doing a good switch, and this is kind of where it all goes wrong for Clayton. I think he must have misinterpreted where Adam's gone. Yeah.
I think he was late and then got lost and then suddenly realised there was a wall in front of him, and it was kind of grab the brake as hard as he could and try not to smash into it, because I think if he had actually flicked it then,
yes,
it was going to hit the wall with the tail and then bring it back around. So Stephen will decision for us. Adam Whitehead goes through.
Well, you'd be happy going through the next round. Top 16, pal.
Yeah, it's good to get one back on Clayton after he beat me in Pukekohe. So unfortunately, he had a little spin in front of me, but yeah, looking forward to going forward and facing the next one.
Track feel good?
Track feels great today. Sun's out, East Coast.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Quickly jump across to Clayton, because he's got a... You got a cone, mate. There's a cone stuck. What the hell are you doing twice in a row on the same run?
Yeah, first one was my bad. Adam drove mean anyway. Yeah, that was Kink's run by him. We've been having issues with the belts all weekend, but yeah, that's all good though, it's all part of it. But just massive thanks to H BlackBee, Wedita, the whole crew there, that's wicked track.
It is wicked, mate. Always good to see you smiling, man. We'll see you at Bay Park.
Yeah, cheers, Steve. Thank you.
Hey, Keisuke,
yes.
Here's something interesting for you. Take a look out the window in front of us and tell me if you think that asphalt's starting to break up here on the outer zone 4. I can see some divots starting to appear in the track down here just in front of us. That is going to come into play in the battles, particularly in the second half of the passes, where the drivers have already used up a fair bit of tyre. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. And this is definitely something to keep an eye on. Ben Jenkins 30 points at the moment, and Dave Steadman's teammate, Adam Davies, in the chase position.
Oh, Adam tucking into Ben going out wide, trying to just get into outer zone 2, goes and gets into outer zone 3 very well. Adam doing a good job in the chase there as they switch back into outer zone 4. Ben filling that zone very, very well. And Adam right behind him as they come into the CRC war ride. Ben Jenkins doing a very good job in that Phoenix Radius S15, and Adam right by them as they go across the finish line.
Yeah, so that's pro drifting at its finest, isn't it, Keisuke? When they start to step up the level, the smoke level goes up, the speed goes up, as Andrew Redwood alluded to earlier. You just see that aggression go up a notch too. Now, I actually feel like Adam put a bit of pressure on Ben here, and I wonder if that pulled Ben slightly off his line here, because what Adam will be looking to do is not only get his own season campaign back on track, but potentially take out a contender for his teammate Dave Steadman
100%.
in terms of that overall season podium. So Ben Jenkins currently third in points at the moment. Observation from me on that one, that is not the flowing, fast Ben Jenkins we usually see. It's not displaying that confident throttle application.
Especially on the initiation, right? So, I mean, one of the things here, watching the GT Radio replay, is that Ben was a little bit soft on the initiation there, and whether that's affected the chase car and how the judges call that in terms of disadvantage or advantage either way, it's going to be interesting. So,
something to keep an eye on too. They're in the same bracket as Connor Halligan.
Yes.
So Connor Halligan currently second on points. So Ben's third and Connor second at the moment. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Adam has just called his 5 minutes. So something we are aware of from yesterday is that Adam Davies is in his second car. So that's the 13B turbo they call the Unicorn, as opposed to his primary car, Karen, which is the 20B rotary. And that looks like it's just lost power, has it? They're calling for a tow.
I think they, in practice yesterday, they did have a bit of a meeting with the wall in the Unicorn as well. So there might be a couple of mechanical issues or electrical issues that they have to go through. The team will go check it out and make sure that everything's hunky-dory. But
I think everyone belted the wall yesterday, just about, didn't they? If you haven't checked out the Oversteer TV highlights, then there was a lot going on here at H BlackBee Drift Park here in beautiful Tairāwhiti Gisborne. And just while we've got a brief lull in engine noise, it is a great chance to thank those sponsors that Boss did mention earlier. Aratu Forest, H BlackBee Contractors, H BlackBee Crushing, Tairāwhiti Contractors, Curry Construction, Launch Construction, Perma Group Gisborne, Gisborne High-Abs, Porter Hire Gisborne, Gisborne Boys High School, Awapuni Speedway, Trust Tairāwhiti, Gisbuild Limited, Duke's Carriers, Container Space, Stone Transport, Inline Marking and Sheds for You. So thank you to all of those partners who have helped in creating something from nothing here. The beautiful Tairāwhiti, the coast of the rising sun, Keisuke, meets the sport from the land of the rising sun. Of course, drifting originating in the mountains of Japan, where you, of course, are from.
I am. Not the mountains, but yes.
So we have just got a buy run out on track at the moment, so we might just let you enjoy some engine sounds here. So that is your number one qualifier, Connor Halligan, and that is the sort of form that put him on 99.1 yesterday, Keisuke. And the way he's driving at the moment, it's very tough to see anyone getting close to him. He is. I had a chat with somebody in the pits on Friday. Said the difference with Connor is it feels like when you watch him this season, the speed and the aggression just goes up 15 to 20% compared to anyone else. The only driver who's kind of similar, I suppose, in terms of that aggression and speed is Brodie Maher, who he's been spending a lot of time with as they travel internationally.
I think they've been sharing secrets together, so help each other out.
Secrets. All right, so let's take a look at the container space judges box. Give us a wave, boys. There's the judges up there. The three wise men, that is Darren Kelly, Taylor James, and Andrew Redwood, and the DSO Joel Counter. So those are the three wise men who decision each and every battle this afternoon, including, of course, Megan beside them, who is also in charge of our socials for D1NZ. We're about to see a buy run for David Hunter. Keisuke, we didn't talk enough about David Hunter and the fact that he kind of snuck under the radar in qualifying in 4th place in a big car that switches relatively slowly compared to the nimble little S chassis, and it's a great effort from David Hunter.
It is. I mean, one of the things is that S chassis do actually move a lot faster, but he actually makes the C33 work as we watch him come around into the initiation zone there. As he comes around a little bit off the outer zone, but obviously there's a buy run, so he's just putting on a show for the crowd. But again, I wonder if he's going to lose another tail line.
Well, I was wondering whether these drivers would go through this, because I did see some chat through the Race Drivers channel in terms of whether they did need to do the buy runs, but obviously with the changing conditions, with the heat, with the direct sunlight now on the surface here, they all want to get an early read. They don't want to come out cold. There's been a lot of talk in perhaps past about drivers who qualify 1, 2, 3, 4 quite often get that buy into the top 16. They elect not to take a run, then they come out cold against a driver who's already got their eye in the game from a battle, and it does put them at a disadvantage. So interesting here to see Connor Halligan, David Hunter also out there doing a run. I'd expect that we'll also see Dave Steedman most likely, and Daniel Edwards come out and do their buy runs as well. Daniel Edwards, another one who really put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Yes.
Never competed in pro before in D1, has competed in pro sport with you. First pro round comes out, and he was on top of the qualifying order until the second and final runs, right? Like until
Dave and
David, until Connor and Dave come out. Hello, Monster. Hello, ladies from the Monster team. Blow kisses at the camera. Having a great time there. They're always smiling, aren't they? They're always happy. Apparently, it hurts your face, Keisuke.
It does a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
No.
You're a happy gent though. Does it ever hurt your face to smile that much?
My cheeks get sore sometimes.
Your cheeks get sore. Is that from laughing?
Yes.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. We do try and have as much fun as we possibly can here in commentary. We hope we entertain you guys. Every now and then we will get something wrong. Every now and then we will get something wrong. Don't crucify us for it. We do what we can, and we're trying to call on the heat of the moment. And from every now and then, we will say something where we might think somebody wins a battle, and it might go completely the other way.
100%.
Because that is the beauty of the sport of drifting.
We're not judges.
Yeah, we're not. Now, we're hearing that is clutch-related for Adam Davies. So we're hearing clutch for Adam Davies, and he is out of the car, so they will have to make that car safe before they elect to work on it, if indeed they do choose to work on it. I'm not sure. Is clutch something, Keisuke, from a driver point of view that you would...
It's a hard one, because obviously there are ways around it. You could either bleed the system, the hydraulic system there, or you do have to end up taking the gearbox out. So depending on how the car is built, it may take obviously longer than 5 minutes to get a gearbox in and out and change the clutch over. So see how we go.
The next battle, Keisuke, for those who are new to the sport of drifting, is an appropriate summary of where the sport of drifting has progressed to. We have 1,000 horsepower of Australian-built 2JZ up against a 900 horsepower TRD NASCAR motor for Johnny Latham.
So built in America.
This is very much the old school displacement technology. Although it's not really old school when TRD's involved in it. Up against 2JZ engineering at its finest out of Australian themselves. Oh, Johnny Latham has debeated in the scrub. What is the rule here?
So there is a rule, obviously 14.7 PSI is the lowest that you can have cold in the tyre, but whether that's debead rules is another rule there. But whether
it's not contact though, and it hasn't hit anything on the track. It's just gone flat. So is he entitled to change that and call us 5? Or does he have to forfeit the battle? We'll wait for race control to confirm that one for us. But
I know personally, I'd like to see the battle.
Every driver wants to win on the track, right? But the challenge is that there are rules that go along with these motorsport. And we are a Motorsport New Zealand official series, so we do have to play according to the series articles. So Latham will be sent back to his pits, and they'll take a look at that and then be advised what they can do.
No one wants to win on a technicality, even the drivers, even the teams, but that's part of the rules. They understand the rules and they have to abide by them. So
I think Sam West said that he wanted to win on technicalities, but he's not driving this season, so that's all right. Shout out Sam West, he'll be tuned in somewhere on the live stream. Indeed, shout out to all of our viewers tuned in on Sky TV, KO, and on Oversteer TV, PPV. this afternoon. Hopefully there are a number of you tuned in from around the world. Indeed, if you are tuned in from around the world, let us know where you are watching the beautiful Tairāwhiti Gisborne region from around the globe. I think last time we had some Finnish viewers tuned in, of course, because of Lauri Heinonen. We usually get a few viewers from the United States. One of our pro sport drivers, Mike Spicer, has family in the United Kingdom. So, yeah, there'll be people tuned in from around the world, and also the drivers' families as well, often tuned in, particularly the kids. And speaking of which, shout out to young Colton and Angelique at home, Dean's partner and son, the young fella cheering for Dad to get on the pro podium potentially, hopefully for the first time. But he's not going to have an easy route there with Mike Thorley from the NZ Thorley Motorsport team, Keisuke. Someone you know very well.
100%. He was one of my neighbours, and obviously he's got Lily and Lucy supporting him in the crowd today, as well as Kim Thorley, his wife. So see what happens in run one with Dean in the lead and Michael Thorley in the chase as Dean comes into the initiation zone and does a very good switch into that initiation zone, staying out wide. Mike doing a very good job trying to follow him a little bit on the inside there. A little bit more proximity would be nice to see as they come into the switchback, out of zone 3 being filled, out of zone 4. Doing a good job there by both cars as they come around out of zone 4. Mike trying to fill that gap as they come into the switch into the CRC wall ride, get set up and around they go. Dean doing a very good job there, very close to that wall as they come around and go across the finish line.
Love that CRC wall ride there from Dean, Young Salmons Contracting on the side of that car. Beautiful machine that is the ex-Ra Hader chassis with, I think it's the running gear out of his last season's S13, isn't it? But he got out of, around GT Radial there, got out of zone 1, got out of zone 2, brought to you by H BlackBee, got 3 brought to us by Trust Tairāwhiti. Just, you see the tyres being turned to clouds of smoke. I felt like Mike only really started to attack at out of zone 4, and he needed to be maybe a little bit more ruthless through 1, 2 and 3 just to put the pressure on Dean there. And then by the time he sort of got to 4, he was playing catch up a little bit, and then you saw where that line fell away from him, and that will, I think from looking at the judging criteria, I think Dean will have a little bit of an advantage here.
100%. I mean, the judges want proximity, and that's what we want to see as well as we go into the second run. Mike Thorley in the lead, Dean Young in the chase as Dean initiates. Mike doing a very good job there, but a little bit inside as they come around first and second out of zone. Mike doing a good job filling third out of zone. Dean switching right behind him as they're coming out of zone 4. And Mike filling that zone very well. I think it's a very timid lead there by Dean as they come around and set themselves up for the CRC wall ride. Dean a little bit inside, not as much angle. Michael actually doing a very good job around that wall ride as they go and cross the finish line.
So I look at that and I go, they're almost carbon copies of each other, where there just wasn't that constant attack or lead aggression. So it's going to come down, I think, to lead for lead in terms of who filled up those zones more. If I was looking at, I think I would give Dean the advantage through 1, 2, 3, but then I don't think that maybe Mike Thorley didn't get 4 slightly better. The one observation I would make is I think you're right in that Dean was a little bit timid in his chases. He just wasn't quite sure what Mike was going to do in the lead position. We do know that Dean is still adjusting to driving on a semi-slick tyre, but then he has found himself really trapped on the inside of the track there on out of zone 5. So we'll either get a decision, or I think there's a possibility he will not get an OMT. I've got to be honest. I don't want to say it, but I think. So there it is. So there's the OMT, yes. So one judge calls it a OMT, one calls it in favour of Thorley, one calls it in favour of Young, so they have to go again. Or in Te Reo, ko tahi te wā anō.
Yes.
Ko tahi te wā anō, which means one more time. Stephen doing the best he could there for the dramatic pause, and the boys will get sent back for a set of tyres. Mike and Dean looking at each other like, I don't think that was good, bro. Let's just go again. Now, have we got an Adam Davies making it back to the line to take on Ben J? Or yes, we have.
We do.
Okay, so
good on the team for getting him back out there.
I know you're listening, Simon, who is spinning spanners on Adam's car. Let us know what you had to thrash to get that car back to line. Hello to Georgie, Willow and Bug as well, who are at home tuned in. And number 3.
The Monster Energy start line looking great there as we wait for both drivers and the lights to go green for their second run.
Hello to Terry as well, and Adam's kids who are at home cheering Adam on here. He will be looking for that little bit of luck, Keisuke, as we talked about. Maybe this is going to be it. Maybe they've had their little hiccup, got it out of the way, and Adam can now drive as he sees fit in the Hyperlink Limit Code machine. So they'll initiate off the line, roll through the Link ECU initiation. They have to be initiated by that white line you can see on the track. You can see Adam is kind of fighting that car, and it's brought him up real short of outer zone number 2. Does get outer zone 3, brought to by Tairāwhiti Trust. Goes for VIP Frame and Trust, outer zone number 4. A little bit tidier through there. You can see Ben Jenkins there has had to kind of modulate his run. He's had to adjust his speed and line there, and Ben Jenkins will try and take the fight to Adam Davies. Just close up there to the inside. You see the J&Co on the back of the Phoenix Radiators machine. Not too bad a job there out front from Adam Davies, but just the big deduction there, Keisuke, is going to be missing that outer zone 2 completely.
100%. As we watch the GT radio replay here, I mean, Adam Davies doing all he can with having clutch issues, obviously, which has changed the way that the car is going on throttle, but they do a good job. Ben doing a good job in the chase position, adjusting to Adam in the front there as they come around out of zone 3 and 4. Adam actually doing a very good job around out of zone 4, filling that zone very deep, and Ben doing a very good job adjusting as they come into the CRC wall ride. And Adam very deep, Ben right there with him, a little bit on the inside, but that's allowed with the proximity clause being there. So good run overall by both of them.
So the camera angle there, Keisuke, interesting, just the way that it showed it to us. The judges will have a direct look down, and there is the call coming through. It is Ben Jenkins. Benny J.
Ben, just briefly, buddy. Are you on it yet?
Yeah, we're getting there. Like, it's hard to have a battle and sit for yourself and your nerves when you're sitting there waiting and seeing what's going on. But look, Adam's had some trouble with these 2 cars. Yeah, we always like to battle hard, me and him. So at least he got his car out here to run for the second pass. It was good, but I would hate to be sitting on the line and win like that. So he's had some bad car dramas this weekend. We want to win him fair, and yeah, now we can move on into the top 16.
All right, go get it.
Thank you.
I just meant you want to go home and have a sleep, right?
Well, it is what it is. What did I say last round? No luck is almost like, what is it, bad luck and no luck? No.
I don't know, mate. There's always hope.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah.
Well, we'll see at Mercury Bay Park where you'll be comfortable, right? And do some work on this, eh?
Yeah, we'll try.
Keep smiling, pal.
Cheers, Stephen.
Well, Adam still looks pretty happy about things.
Yeah, he looks chipper.
What is interesting, Ben Jenkins still in competition, right? But in that same bracket as Halligan. I mentioned that earlier. So somebody's title chase is going to get really, really interesting come potentially a top 8 type battle. But of course, still got to go through either a Brody Maher or a Johnny Latham.
Yes.
So what was the rule? Yeah,
just to finalise what the rules were, realistically it's before leaving the line. So the DB rule doesn't apply before the line. It's more of a mechanical 5-minute call. So he was able to be that tyre back on just by pumping up that tyre, and he's allowed to start lining up again and scrubbing and go from scratch.
Okay, so did that cost him his 5 minutes though, or is that a repair that's allowed to be done before?
I think it might have cost him his 5 minutes. So if anything happens hereafter, he may not have the chance to fix it. So fingers crossed.
Okay, just noting that, just noting that down, because we have had instances before where there have been debates about drivers wanting to take a second 5 minutes, Keisuke, with a lot on the line as we build towards the title fight at Bay Park. Tickets available now for purchase. Let's see what we see from Toretto here, the always on attack Australian Brody Maher.
Good initiation there by Brody. Johnny doing what he can to keep up with him, doing a good job with proximity there. Brody doing a very lovely job up the front, filling out of zone 3 as he comes into out of zone 4. Good switch by Brody. Johnny, a little bit far in, and he's misjudged that transition there as they come into and set up for the CRC wall ride. Brody did a beautiful job up front in the 2JZ FD RX-7, and Johnny just having a little bit of trouble there in the chase.
Yeah, he got so keen, I think, after he was just feeling it and feeding it. That was nearly 2,000 horsepower, by the way, heading around the GT Radial turn number 1. He was right there with Brody Maher. Brody Maher's car is incredibly fast. It is difficult to see on camera just how fast it actually is, but if you're here at H BlackBee Drift Park, you will be able to observe just how fast it is. But then Johnny, unfortunately, just come back to the inside line there, and a driver like Brody Maher, you can't give him that sort of advantage. Keisuke, he is just going to hammer that home. See Brody Maher just settled down off the line. He did come slightly back shallow there. I mean, we do know he runs comms, so I would imagine his spotter straight away will have gone error in the chase position, just close it out. It was something that we learned yesterday that with a track like Gisborne here with the big walls, a lot of the spotters are talking to the drivers straight away. As soon as there's an error in chase, they are talking about preserving tyre. There is strategy to it, so they're kind of, okay, so don't do anything silly, keep it off the wall.
Yep.
You don't need to risk it, you can play safe. So,
but there's also that showman aspect to it, right?
There definitely is, but look, we've also seen Brody run that entire wall with the bumper buried in the wall, right? So that's what I mean by that in terms of he sits 30 centimetres off it instead of being right on it. So let's listen to the Johnny Latham machine as it sings off the line, the Uni Control sponsored machine. BMW, that's a big drag of handbrakes to get that to go.
Initiation there by Johnny Latham as he goes into outer zone 2 and 3, doing a good job there. Hopefully Brody doesn't get lost in the smoke as they come into outer zone 4. Brody doing a pretty good job there, just imitating what Johnny's doing out there on the front. Johnny going very, very deep into outer zone 4 as they set up themselves for the CRC wall ride. Both of them going pretty deep. Brody had to adjust a little bit to what's happening in front of him. Johnny doing a good job there in the lead as they cross the finish line there, Warren.
I was just enjoying listening to Johnny's engine sing, to be fair, Keisuke. I just want Johnny to have a round where he gets to drive the car, you know, like not have to tinker with it. It would be fantastic. It's such a great build from him and his dedicated team. He comes up, he goes quietly about his business all the way from the South Island, settles in nicely. He gets the VIP frame and truss out of zone number 4 there, and then just buries the motor. Smokes up. I think he's a Trieste tyre on the rear there. Didn't get quite as deep into outer zone 5 there as Brody did. And you can see there the jerky momentum of the car is probably my observation of that there compared to Brody, was just very flowing all the way around. And we'll wait for Jo to do her scarecrow impersonation, and she'll decision this one. And going through is Brody Maher.
Brody Maher, you have managed to tame Toretto. What's changed to help you make the comeback since last round?
It's awesome to be back. Unfortunately, I think it has thrown the alternator belt again. I just drove it with no power steering then and had to wind it down a little bit. But awesome lead from Johnny. I know he's had some dramas. I've been in the wall, he's been in the wall. He's a really good dude. So yeah, I'm glad to be here. Hopefully we tune it up, and I don't know who we've got next, but we'll have some fun.
Oh, we see you in the top 16. We'll just come over and have a word with Johnny. What a beast of a run, mate. Those were 2 really killer leads. How did it feel out there to be finally so in control?
Yeah, it was good. I had a good time. Yeah, I knew it was going to be fast, so kind of gapped me a little bit on the start and then closed it in, and then I just sort of got caught out, closed them in too fast, got caught out, so made a bit of a mess of it, but yeah, it was good fun.
We're sorry you didn't make it through, but we'll see you at Bay Park.
Yeah, maybe a little bit dejected there, Johnny Latham. I think he may have had some high expectations for that battle, but Keisuke, I can see you getting excited because you're looking at the battle tree going, Ben's battling Brody. Ben's battling Brody.
Yeah, Brody didn't know who he was up against, and I sure do. So that would be a very, very good battle to watch as we come into the next battle, which is the OMT between Dean Young and the Salmon Contracting S15 and Mike Thorley in the NZDT Radial 180S6. Both drivers, obviously, Dean's, one Pro Sport, Mike Thorley's one Pro Sport. So it'll be good to watch as they come through the link initiation zone. Dean initiating very good there in the lead. Mike on the realistically on his door as they come around the outer zone 2 and outer zone 3. Dean are doing a very good job through outer zone 3 as they switch back into outer zone 4. Dean, good job. Mike imitating him as they come around onto the wall. And Mike, very good run there by Mike Thorley. Just the switches and everything, the timing as he comes.
You've just hexed him.
I have hexed him.
You've just hexed him.
Dean's doing great in the front. But yeah, unfortunate for Mike, he's just on that last
80% of that run, Mike Thorley was probably winning that with that chase. Like, that's probably one of the best chase runs we've actually seen from Mike. Just had that flow, had it nice and smooth. He maintained the same proximity, wasn't surging forward, wasn't falling back, had great angle. Dean opened the door up right. Dean carries nice angle there. Dean's probably could be a 30 centimetres deeper into outer zone 4 there. Mike is right there until you started talking about the great job he was doing, Keisuke, and then he goes to the inside here.
Yeah,
just checked himself up and shot to the inside.
He's just, really missed that target there. Maybe looked at the wrong place at the wrong time and kind of shot forward. But overall, great runs from both of them.
What are the drivers using as markers? Did you talk to them about that?
So in the chase, you're realistically looking at the car in front of you, whether it be the boot or the door, and the D. For the lead, it's pretty much where the balls are. So.
All right. Well, I asked you, I threw you under the bus with that question, didn't I? Because it's one of those things that'll be different for everyone. Mike Thorley has completely missed outer zone 2 there, brought to you by H BlackBee. He does get out to outer zone 3, brought to you by Trust Tairāwhiti. Gets out to the all. Now, what's happened for Dean there in the chase position? I was watching Mike out front, and then Dean's had a bit of a moment there in the chase position, had a bit of a wash, a little bit of a straighten up there where I expected him to carry that flow through here. Mike Thorley, maybe the door opening back up here for him. I do expect that we will get a decision off this battle, Keisuke. It's going to be era versus era, unfortunately, again, though.
I agree. I mean, it was one of those things. I mean, Mike doing a great lead run there as they come into the first and second outer zone. Other than that first and second outer zone, which Mike missed, he did very well. Dean, obviously, just following him behind. Maybe a wheel off on that inside.
There's the straight,
there, but
straight from Dean. Is it straight? Has he lost drift fully?
Whether it's a re-initiation or not, that's really for the judges to call, but it's going to be hard how the judges call that as they come around into the CRC wall ride and over again. So.
And I hate saying this, but Mike Thorley's been involved in so many controversial battles already this season, and I feel like we could see that again depending on how this falls. So we'll just wait for a decision to lock in here. Jo doing her best scarecrow impersonation down there with the Monster Girls. We take a look at the container space judges box. Now they are reviewing here, Keisuke. They are taking a look at the footage here again. I think it is, again, it's era versus era. Is that Dan Edwards down there just chilling? Just chilling like a villain? Just doesn't even care, just turns up. Don't need a drive.
But I think it's Luke Fink up in the judges box, just on the outside of the judges box, I should say.
Oh, okay, right. I was just wondering what Luke was doing up there. I was thinking, who let Fink judge? That would be the harshest calls potentially ever. No, you're all no good. That'll be all right. Still waiting. Keisuke, what do you think?
It's going to be a hard one. It really comes down to Dean's chase, what happened there, whether the judges call it as a straight line or not, and we have a decision.
Michael Thorley!
Wow, Mike, you must have really been hungry for this. I know you've been battling all season. How does it feel to finally get the win?
Can I celebrate when I make it back for top 16, just in case someone changes the results? Sorry, yeah, no, I loved it. First time battling Dean Young, mean driver, both sponsored by Valvoline, so perfect oil out there. Cool battle. We'll go back out again.
All right, we'll see you in the 16.
Hey, Keisuke, would you like some chips for lunch? Because Mike Thorley's got some extra salt for you if they're not salty enough.
He does speak his mind off for me. He does. And he has had it a lot. So I mean, it's one of those things. Hopefully, he just keeps going.
I don't blame him. I did allude to it earlier. He has a number of controversial calls. So what he's talking about there is he has had a number of battles this season and in previous seasons and in other events featuring people like yourself, Keisuke, where reviews have been done and unfortunately results have been overturned or have resulted in OMTs. So I think from Mike's point of view, it's a little bit sarcastic, but it's also probably a little bit of a feeling of, well, I'm not prepared to celebrate yet. Until I get to grid up and line up against David Hunter, I won't take it for granted, and that's probably a good attitude to have as you go through the sport.
I also know how Dean is, and I think he'll be disappointed in himself with that mistake there and call today. But we go into the next run.
Yeah, Wild Children. Fangadan, the wily old Coyote, 900 horsepower of a 5-litre V8 against Matty J in the Psycho JZ. So Matty J returning to competition. He missed the first 3 rounds. Fangadan is here each and every year, as he has been for the last 23 odd years. Fangadan right out on that yellow line there. line and saying, come and get me if you can, young fella. And Matty J has got lost there in the transition. He went to go with Fanga Dan, had no idea of where Fanga was switching to. That car just carries such different angle, Keisuke. Have you ever tried chasing Fanga in your car?
I have once, and I actually hit him.
Well, that wasn't quite how I thought that story was going to go. You're not doing good things for Asian driver stereotypes by crashing into people.
I turned left now, but anyway, as we go around, Fanga doing an absolutely perler job in the lead, just hitting all those zones and filling all of the zones there as they come around. Matty J doing a pretty good job in terms of proximity as they come around into the switch, and this is where it all goes wrong for Matty. He's just switched too early and too over-rotated and just gone into the inside there as Fanga just goes and does a very good job.
It's a loss of drift, so it's a 10-0, right? You can't, unfortunately, call that any other way. So, advantage Fanga. Fanga is not a driver that you hand a big advantage to either, because he's not a guy who's going to be in the chase position that you're going to frighten or do anything to, Keisuke. Like, you can't play a game with Fanga, right? If you play silly buggers with Fanga, he's just going to go through your door.
So Matty J in the lead there as Fanga chases. Matty doing a good job there in the initiation, and Fanga just doing what he does in terms of the chase there, just imitating what Matty's doing in front of him as they come into the switch and into outer zone 4. Fanga, what is he going to do here? Is he going to fall off and goes onto Matty J's door, leaving a little bit of a gap there, but very, very consistent proximity there by Fanga Dan as they come around into the CRC wall ride. Matty J doing a good job up front, and Fanga just following him behind as they cross the finish line.
The scary thing about that is that that's like Fanga at like 90-95%. Like, that's not him doing anything silly. Like, he doesn't need to do anything. He is old school in that he doesn't run comp, but he will know exactly what happened the first time around that Matty J has handed him a big advantage. He's just sitting back there. The easiest way to tell, right, is Fanga is giving someone a car length there and then just plays catch up onto the door and doesn't play the tap. So yeah, let's see how the result locks in, but I think with the advantage handed on the early run, it should be the wily old coyote. And there it is, Fanga Dan, aka Dad.
I'm going to be blunt. That looked like vintage Fanga. That was a massive 2 runs.
Oh yeah, no, it was pretty cool. You know, I know we can do a bit better, but awesome for Matty. You know, he had a bit of a crash and he went hard to get his car together, and yeah, to be in the main show was the main thing.
Good boy. We'll see you in the round of 16, mate. That was an epic. My word. Yeah. Wow. Nice to see you back, Matty, but I get the feeling he bullied you a bit on that lead run.
Oh, not really. I pretty much messed it up from the start straight as soon as I initiated. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not feeling confident in the car now after we had a bit of a prang. That lead was sort of all right, but yeah, there's always room for improvement. But yeah, no, it's always great going up against a legend like Fanga. That's what we're here for. That's why we're in the pros, and you know, driving with guys like that, it's good experience. But yeah.
See you at Bay Park.
Yeah, Bay Park. But I just want to say thanks to my mate Jason at PG Engineering and Cheap Tyres, Rotoro and Tauranga. You know, without them we wouldn't be here at all. So, yeah.
Big community, mate. They look after you.
It is, mate, and they're fucking top guys.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you there, Matty J, just letting us into the mind of a stock car driver, a man who straps himself into a steel cage and crashes into other people for fun on a Saturday night. Keisuke. Yeah. Now, this next battle, Keisuke, is a monumental rebuild story. We've got a rebuilt engine on one side. Overnight, Sean Potros and his team have rebuilt an engine. And against him is Justin Patterson, who's pretty much tried to rebuild the whole front end of his car after smashing into a block, a 4-ton concrete block, and moving it a metre.
Yeah, he did a good job there. And obviously Sean's team, 57D Performance, and everyone else that helped him to get out as they come into the Link ECU initiation. Justin putting it on for Sean. He knows, oh no, it's all gone wrong, but he's kept it off the wall. And Sean just overtook him. And round he goes. Justin doing it back into.
No, I still don't understand this. Now, if I was Sean, I would not use up the tyre. I don't understand the using the tyre.
I think he just wants to put on a show for the crowd.
It's Sean, right? It's Sean. He's putting on a show. He's got lots of the H BlackBee crew here cheering for him, the Champ Vision team. By the way, you can pick up a Champ Vision SMP T-shirt from Mama Shah and the team. They have sizes up to 7XL. It's a big T-shirt, Keisuke, a 7XL.
They do. GT Radio replay here. I mean, yeah, it's all gone wrong, obviously, in the front end of Justin Patterson's MTF S15 there, which has put him towards the wall. He's done well to keep off the wall, and Sean's just gone ahead and overtook him.
Yeah, and the fact that that thing is running again after Justin did smash into that wall, right, is a tribute to Justin Patterson and his MTF team. So great to see Justin back out there. Has had a pretty rough championship season, to be fair. Went off-roading down at Tairāwhiti as well. And I'm looking at this, Keisuke, thinking this ain't going to get any less wild, because whoever wins this one's going up against Fangadan anyway, with him locking in. And here is Justin Patterson taking the fight to Sean Potros. He's going to push him around the track, play neighbourhood bully there, but you can just see the steering in Justin Patterson's car is just not right. He just doesn't want to hold that angle. He's doing what he can with it, trying to massage it around the track. Sean Potros opens up the door there, buries the right foot there. Lots of limiter, as we expect and as we know from Sean Potros. He'll bury this thing in the CRC wall. Here comes Justin Patterson. Gisborne tied it up, but he put your hands together. But Justin Patterson tries the pass on the line.
I think that was wheel on wheel, and it's actually hit Sean's front wheel there.
So he's handed Sean a win pretty much on the first pass, and then gone, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just drive right on your door to prove that I can do it to myself. Keisuke, that's a phenomenal chase from Justin in an unpredictable car.
Yeah, 100%. I think Justin's put all that he has into that chase there as they come around, and Sean putting on a very, very good lead as they come and switch into the CRC wall ride. And this is where there's a little bit of contact there. I think it's wheel on wheel, and you actually see in the replay Sean's right wheel isn't pointing where it's supposed to be, because
Justin's love tag.
Yes, giving it a little bit of a love tap.
I do think I know how this will go. I think there'll be a little bit of emotion here from the victor, regardless of which side. Sean Potros gets the win. Sean Potros gets the win after rebuilding an engine overnight. What a story.
Well, that's a nice way to reward yourself for an overnight engine rebuild, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was scary just at the end there when Justin made some contact. I lost actually the feel of the steering, bent a wrecking or maybe broken. But yeah, massive thanks to Con Halligan and the boys at 57 for doing the all-nighter, and also my crew, like the family of the H BlackBee. Everyone's played a part. It hasn't quite been the weekend like we initially thought it would begin, but.
Being here, helping out Wetter to the crew, what does it mean to you to just be amongst this build?
Yeah, it's been wild. The last 2 weeks is, I don't know, I haven't had that much sleep, probably 5 hours max a night. But it's been wicked to see this place just transform what it was to what it is, and the crowd is loving it. I haven't heard a single bad thing, so that's great.
Mate, we're loving it. Go sort your car out. There you go. Sean Potts, have a quick chat to Justin Patterson. Wow. What happened to the lead, pal?
Oh, yeah, better man won on the day. I've been up against it this week and I had a big stack, but credit to the crew and Fanger and Scotty D's crew. So many crews came together, spent about 5 hours piecing this thing back together, and to be honest, it drove really, really well considering how damaged it is. So better man won on the day. I think it was driver error, so I tried to really put it on him. Sorry, I gave him a bit of a love tap at the end. I was a little bit aggressive, I suppose, but it was so much fun.
Mate, great sportsmanship. I assumed, am I right, that we see you at Mercury Bay Park?
If we can get this, I plan to be. I owe it to the crew and everyone who helped me get here. So.
You're a good man. Be safe.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen McIvor, for bringing us that driver insight there. And you could see Justin Patterson smiling there, and he certainly was aggressive in the chase position there. Keisuke, as we take a little bit of an aerial shot here, as Rhodey comes into the scrub box along with Dan Caldwell from VIP from the South Island. Both drivers, Keisuke, that will be looking up the tree, just thinking, I've got to get through this one, and I've got Dangerous Dave Stephen, the current series leader, in the top 16 if I can win this one. And if I can knock Dave off, then confidence is your best friend in the drift game. And hey, who knows, we could be on for a first win, or a first, I think it would even be a first podium actually for either of them. I'm not sure that Rhodey has been to the podium. Dan definitely hasn't. He hasn't been in D1NZ for that long. Has certainly won his fair share of silverware down there at Drift South. Hello to all the Drift South team tuned in as well. There'll be a few Southern fans still celebrating Sheldon Neal on the podium earlier today.
All right, run 1. Daniel Caldwell in the lead. Rody in the chase. Daniel Caldwell doing a good job there in the initiations, trying to stay out wide into outer zone 2. Rody doing what he can in the chase. And Daniel Caldwell doing a very good job there in the lead, hitting outer zone 3. What happens in outer zone 4 as they come around? Daniel, again, a little bit shallow in the angle, but good lead line as they come around and sets up for the CRC wall ride. Rody doing what he can to get that proximity back on Daniel Caldwell's door as they come across the finish line.
That's the best run we've seen this weekend from Dan Caldwell. That is a drive. Like, that is Dan Caldwell feeling confident. We've sort of seen this from him over the last 3 rounds, right? He's taken a while to warm up to what's going on, but then once he gets dialed, he just looks super confident, super relaxed. We know, I know that Dan's a pretty successful businessman in his own right, so he's probably got a lot of things going on, but once he just settles in and just finds his groove and just starts driving, he's capable of this type of nice, smooth run here, and I think he's put a fair bit of pressure on Rody here. Rody's going to really have to deliver in the lead position, or he might find himself on the trailer early.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that run, Daniel Caldwell had no corrections in the front and he was on line, so it's going to be a hard lead line to beat. Hard, and realistically, see what happens in the chase. Anything can go, anything can happen.
So staying out of your own head, right? Too much fun, eh? All right, so here we go. Rody Knowles will initiate into GT Radials. Turn number 1 goes for Outer Zone. Number 2 brought to you by H BlackBee. Outer Zone number 3, Trust Tairāwhiti, the naming sponsor on that one. They go through that zone nicely in synchronisation there. Keisuke, Daniel Caldwell doing a great job in the chase position. Probably needs a bit better proximity. Probably should have been on the door of Rody there to put some pressure on him. Daniel Caldwell now starting to apply the pressure, now starting to apply the muscle of that big LSX power plant. 1,200 odd horsepower for Caldwell. Gets back on the gas, backs it up. Rody Knowles doing nothing wrong out front there. But I think maybe Daniel Caldwell might have done enough, Keisuke, or is it going to be so close that we won't see them again?
So watch the GT radio replay here. Rody doing a good job in front. Daniel just trying to get that proximity there. A little bit of an adjustment there from Daniel as they come in. Rody doing a good job in outer zone 2 and 3. Again, not many corrections in the front there as they switch into outer zone 4. Rody filling that outer zone very well. Daniel losing a little bit of that line to get that proximity back, but does a very, very good job here. Just switches on his bumper and on his door. A little bit inside again to just get that proximity back, but Rody doing a good job out front.
Yeah, I think Daniel was really able to use that Trias tyre and LSX power combination, right? Just make use of that grip, just extend himself out, catch back up, put himself where he wanted to go. But we're not the judges of Fat Keisuke, so whatever the 3 wise men call is how we'll decision this battle. So there is a 4th official up there, of course, who is the DSO Joel Counter. So what happens is that the DSO is effectively able to review video footage. They will point out to the 3 judges if there are any actions that occur within the course of a battle that they think may overturn or impact on the result, and they can bring them to the judge's attention, which can sometimes result in a decision either being changed or it can result in a 1 more time battle. So that is the role of Joel Counter, and you can just see them there to the it'll be the right hand side of your screen on the container space container there, and that is that's Luke Fink just sticking his head in there. Of course, he's not allowed to talk to the judges in any way, shape or form while competition is underway, as he is an entered competitor. And it does look like we have a decision going through. It's Rody Knowles, a split decision 2-1. We will need to talk to the
Rody,
judges.
you have been having an absolute mare after your fire on Friday. That was an absolute battle. Both of your lead runs were epic. Seeing you floated out in the chase position, how was Dan's lead and how did you feel there?
Honestly, it was actually, his lead was really good to chase. He fired in there pretty quickly and got settled, so it made the chase car job quite friendly, so it was just nice to be able to be up on the door and have the confidence to be there, so it was good.
Well, you've got Dave Steedman up next. All the best.
Yeah, thank you. Big job, but he's the bar, you know, him and Connor, so let's have a crack. Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Righty, so there's a split decision that's occurred there. It's a 2-1, and we do want to talk to the judges, the wise men up there. Hopefully they have the ability to chat to us. I can see Darren Kelly just trying to work out where the microphone actually is there. Hopefully we can... Darren, Taylor, Andrew, who wants to shed some light on that one, a 2-1 split?
Yeah, it was a pretty close battle there. The main points there, Rody done a really good line through this outer zone 4 here. Dan kind of came into the zone initially and then left it. There was mistakes on both sides and in multiple areas. Both of them had a pretty similar turn one, and yeah, collectively it was a pretty close decision, but yeah, sided with Rhodey on that one.
Okay, and was there some DSO involvement there? I'm not sure if you can hear me as car screams, but Scotty D just doing a sight lap at the moment, but my question there was just, was the DSO involved at all?
Yeah, so we were just reviewing both runs, watch both of them back again, and yeah, collectively just tried to pinpoint who made bigger errors. Rhodey's lead was really good. Again, yeah, just threw out his own 4 was probably the deciding factor.
All right, appreciate that, judges. Always good to try and give our viewers and the teams as much clarity as they possibly can. So obviously, two judges feeling that we did have a superior performance there from Rhodey, and one judge siding with Daniel Caldwell.
I mean, it was a close battle, and again, it's just down to those minuscule errors in both runs just to make sure that they're making the right call. And it does get down to that when there's a good chase and a good lead.
All right, Keisuke, strategy coming to play here. Braden Mere, higher qualifier, chooses to chase first.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, a lot of people have opted to go out and lead, but it'd be interesting. SR powered by Jordan Joyce and the NZKW S14, and I think it's 2J powered with the RB30 powered. So the Jordan Joyce coming into the initiation, doing a good job there, staying out wide. Braden doing what he can to cut that proximity in half as they come around into outer zone 3. Switch back by Jordan and Braden. He's gone to the inside a little bit shallow on angle. Jordan doing a great job in outer zone 4 there. Braden's kind of trying. He's having a bit of trouble there, trying to follow Jordan coming into the CRC wall ride as they come around, and Jordan did a very good job in the lead. Braden just closing up that proximity as they go across the finish line.
I wonder if he's almost got too much tyre, too much grip, and he just isn't able to drive the car in the normal Braden aggressive manner, right? And that's resulted in having to take some different lines, because otherwise I think that car does usually have enough forward momentum that it would have caught Jordan Joyce. That's Jordan's what we call his practice car, so to speak. He has competed in a different one in past. That's the practice car. It's still well built, it's still got a dog box, etc., but it's not quite the same speed or spec.
Well, from what I've heard, it's actually got a standard bottom end, but making 400 kilowatts. So
right,
he's doing pretty good considering.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Braden going to have to just throw this now, right? He's going to have to be all aggression here. He's got no choice. He has probably handed an advantage to what is an experienced competitor in Jordan Joyce. We mentioned yesterday on the live stream he has been over in China, competing over there for Gulf Oils and NZKW. So great to see Jordan returning here in Tairāwhiti Gisborne.
All right, second run, Braden Mere in the lead, Jordan Joyce in the chase as they come into the link initiation zone. Braden doing a good job heading out of zone 2. How's he going to go for out of zone 3? Jordan, he's a little bit shallow in line, just trying to gain that proximity as they switch back into into out of zone 4. Braden doing a good job heading out of zone 4, going deep, and Jordan just adjusting to Braden Mere in front, getting that proximity there as they go into the CRC wall ride. Braden putting a lot of angle, a lot of smoke, but not as deep as it should be as they come around. Jordan just following him, and across the finish line they go.
So watching that one there, what you'll pick up as they come around here, 1, 2, 3, all pretty tidy, but then in the midsection there where they line up for the transition into VIP out of zone 4 here, Keisuke, watch this, Jordan Joyce shortcuts across the inside of the track here, and there's 2 wheels off there. So in a normal racetrack scenario, that would be 2 wheels off. So normally that would be dirt there. So there will be a deduction for Jordan Joyce in the chase position. But is that going to be enough to overturn the first one?
It's really going to come down to the errors between both runs again, right? So I mean, both of them had errors in the chase position. Both leads were pretty good. So we'll see what the judges have to say as we go into a decision by the judges. And it is
Braden Mere. Braden Mere going through.
Braden, I've got to say, that chase of Jordan's, he's putting down some epic lines. You both seem more comfortable in the lead position.
Yeah, no, it's good to shake the cobwebs off. Obviously, haven't had a chase today, so good to get that out of the way and hopefully just keep pushing. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in the 16, or just have a quick catch up with Jordan. Pretty comfortable in the lead there. This isn't your ideal car, though.
Nah, we got the practice car out this round. We just come for fun. There was no expectations. Our comp car's actually getting ready for China next month, so we purely just come to check out the track and see the competition still.
Oh, well, nice to see you back in the seat. Might catch you at Bay Park.
Yeah, nah, we'll be there, we'll be there.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan obviously prioritising his comp car for China as gets the practice car out. Does a pretty good job in the practice car, but...
Right, so a little bit going on here, Keisuke. So we've got Kurt BlackBee coming up next. He's going to do a bye run. Alex Griffin, unfortunately, has withdrawn. We don't have any context as to why that is, but Stocky apparently has withdrawn. So
that's a shame.
That will send Kurt BlackBee for, and then Kurt BlackBee's just come to a halt in the scrub box. Kurt BlackBee has just come to a halt in the scrub box. All sorts of breakages going on here, Keisuke. Is that the heat out there maybe starting to play games with the cars?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cars have actually said hello to the walls, so it's one of those things that might be further damage from driving the cars after getting a little bit of impact on walls, which doesn't help, right?
Well, Kurt's also smashed the wall like 4 times this weekend, so I'm not going to talk during his battle because I don't want commentators hexing because who knows what he's going to do. But yeah, we're hearing that Alex Griffin obviously has withdrawn, so Kurt BlackBee will have a bye run here. We are still waiting for Corbin Wilson and Wede Takake, and then Jaron Olive-Kroner and Sam Edinburgh will be the last to go in the top 32. Living dangerously by Kurt BlackBee. We have just had comps coming through that we have been told Alex Griffin unfortunately hurt the motor, so he is not able to participate. And we have just heard, sadly, whanau, that Wede Takake has withdrawn. So Wede Takake has withdrawn from his battle against Corbin Wilson. The two locals would have been going head-to-head, but unfortunately Wede Takake not able to compete in battles this afternoon. So a unfortunate way for him to end his competition campaign. But hey, maybe we can grab a word with him later on with Stephen or Joe. No doubt a lot of emotion. Speaking of emotion, Jaron Olive-Kroner, Sam Edinburgh, Keisuke looking to get the campaigns underway this afternoon.
Yep, Jaron doing a good job in the lead there as they initiate and fill the second out of zone. Sam Edinburgh right there with him as they come into third out of zone, switches back. Oh, Sam doing a very aggressive switch there on Jaron's door. A little bit of a break to just adjust to Jaron's speed there as they hit out of zone 4. Jaron are doing a very good job there in the lead as they set up for the CRC wall ride. And hits the wall, gives a little bit of an adjustment as they come around and across the finish.
Don't mind that from Jaron. Probably one of the better laps he's done. A little bit of a wall rub towards the end there through the CRC wall ride. We'll take a look at the replay here. Definitely one of the stronger chase performances from Sam Edinburgh in the VIP structural steel machine. Dan's is the blue and the blue and black car, and Sam's is the silver and black car. So Sam slightly less horsepower, about the 800-900 horsepower mark. Both of them run the LS power plant and the S15s with Tiger White spinning spanners. Nice line there from Jaron Olive-Kroner, right out on the yellow, pushing the extremities of the track, and just seen there in the tail end of the replay, just a little love tap on the wall there from Jaron Olive-Kroner, but stayed in it, kept that Hartley V12 singing.
Be interesting what Jaron Olive-Kroner can do in the parts trader Lexus RC car with Sam Edinburgh in the lead in the VIP steel S15 as they come into the link initiation zone into out of zone 1. Jaron's hit the wall, and has he got to keep it out? He's got to keep it out.
No.
No, he did actually keep it out, but it's unfortunately really given him a gap against Sam Edinburgh. Sam Edinburgh doing a good job. And now
Sam spun. Okay, now this is going to come down to first class because Jaron's tyre is off. Jaron Olive-Kroner's tyre is off. Have a look, Keisuke, out the window right now in front of us. Jaron Olive-Kroner does not have a tyre on the rear of that car. It has come off the rim.
Yeah.
And that will incomplete that run for himself will zero. That will mean that Sam Edinburgh zeroed and will go back to the first pass. It'll be lead versus chase.
Yes.
So potentially, even though Jaron has hit the wall here, Jaron could still go through. So So it's all going to come down to the first pass because Jaron has hit the wall there, and then he has kind of had another go. I don't think it took him fully out, so it would have been big advantage at that point, right?
Yep.
But then the tyre comes off, so it's an incomplete. So that is going to, a spin versus an incomplete is a 0-0.
Yes.
So we go back to the first pass there. So all Sam kind of had to do was drive that home, but he's throwing it away in his own corner.
It's one of the, he has
The
thrown it away in
VIP
his own corner. Funny how that works. But I mean, again, it's that second run. It is this track is hard on the pro cars in terms of tyre wear. If you go too hard on the first run, you do run out of tyre on the second, and I think that's what showed with Sam spinning out in his own area.
I'd love to know if the VIP boys are on comms. Just because I'm interested in if there was a spotter who was just saying like safe, 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 in terms of trying to talk Sam through that run and just complete it out, because they would have known that there was contact there for Jaron Olive-Krona. Hey, look, we've got a quick moment here. Great chance to thank all of our sponsors here. So, going to thank our main D1NZ sponsors, first of all, Monster Energy, 10 Tools, G-Shock, Smart Steel, Schmick Mick, Cora Fuel Cards, Logitech, GT Radial, TTI, and Link ECU, and of course, the people of Gisborne, particularly you people up there in the VIP marquee. Give us a wave if you're up there in the VIP marquee as our shout out. Aratu Forests, H BlackBee Contractors, H BlackBee Crushing, Tairāwhiti Contractors, Curry Construction, Launch Construction, Perma Group Gisborne, and we'll throw to Stephen.
Jaron Olive-Krona gets the win.
Yeah, I guess I thought I did a pretty good chase, and then on my lead I think I just got a bit too carried away and had a spin. I obviously seen him DB behind me, but a little too late I think. But yeah, it's been an awesome weekend and awesome event. Definitely appreciate everyone that's put it on.
Been a long drive for you guys to get up here. How long does it take you to get back?
Oh, just jumping on a plane and flying home, so it's not going to be too bad.
Someone else does the hard yakka, right?
Yeah, definitely, mate. But yeah, no, appreciate the crew, appreciate the team, and appreciate D1NZ.
And this crowd, mate, this community, they've turned out. They're loving it.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome crowd. It's a great event. It's probably the best D1 event I've done to date, so hats off to them.
I think we've all got that sort of feeling. And, mate, thanks as always. Good sportsmanship.
Cool. Cheers. Appreciate it.
So there you go. Jaron Olive-Krona gets the win on that one. And we've done the top 30 so get ready. We take a weenie break and we'll head into the top 16 here at H BlackBee Drift Park, where the sun is shining, the sky is blue, and there's lots of smiles.
Well, back live here looking at the Monster Energy start line. It is, of course, Launchmaster Willie's Kingdom, Keisuke, as the Jaron Olive-Krona parts trader Lexus RCF has recovered from the track, and as we thought it was, back to that first run only, where we saw Jaron on the lead and Sam on the chase, and Jaron stayed on the throttle, did give that CRC wall ride a little tap, and then has made a spectacular exit from the track, just to give Kester and the team something to do down there. They do have Nelson Hartley down there as well, spinning spanners. He knows his way around a car. That name, of course, pretty famous within New Zealand motorsport circles. As we build into our top 16 with a lot to play out here, Keisuke, we're going to take a look at hopefully how the top 16 lines up. We'll see if we can get a...
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got Connor Halligan against Adam Whitehead, and yeah, it'll be Brody, Ben Jenkins and Brody. I'm really looking forward to that.
So apologies for our live audience here. We are just on a Sky TV intermission at the moment. Look, Keisuke, I got me a T-shirt. I got me a Black Miles T-shirt. I have the very first Pro Sport DK for 2026 signed version. You still haven't given me my 86 Fighters 25 DK T-shirt, so I'm just filling some airtime here. Hello, people up there in the VIP. Are you guys having a good time while we're not on Sky? Can you guys throw me a mana wave from up there? Give me a big mana wave if you're having a good time. Thank you to everyone here in Gisborne for supporting the event. We love being here. And 10. welcome back to the coast of the rising sun, where we meet the sport from the land of the rising sun for the first time. Tairāwhiti Gisborne hosting the D1NZ National Drifting Championship for the first time, and we are into the top 16. Keisuke Nagashima, great to have you as always alongside me in the commentary box. We've seen a pretty entertaining top 32 already, but it is business time now, top 16, where things are going to start to get real fast.
100%. I mean, our first battle up on the left side of the tree is Connor Halligan, number 1, G-Shock, number 1 qualifier against Adam Whitehead. Ben Jenkins thereafter with Brodie Mayer, David Hunter versus Mike Thorley. That's going to be another one that's going to be interesting. Down the bottom left there, Daniel Wilhouse Fanger versus Sean Potros. Again,
who knows what'll happen in that
battle.
one?
Yeah, 100%. And on the right-hand side there, Dave Steeman, number 1 in championship points at the moment versus Rhodey. And as we go down the tree, it'll be good to watch the battles.
Yeah, Scotty D versus Braden Mayer, Daniel Edwards versus Kurt Blackie, and Corbin Wilson versus Jaron Olivecrone will be how they line up as Connor Halligan gets the lead for the first time. This is our first look in battle pairings at the number 1 qualifier, Connor Halligan. He has been so fast. You can tell immediately, Keisuke, that Adam Whitehead knows just that he has to throw down here and try and go as fast as he possibly can to try and hang on with Adam, and he has just about overdriven it and tried to push Connor off the track there. Adam Whitehead surging forward there, trying to make the most grip he can out of the long tyre, but he just hasn't had the speed to answer Connor Halligan out there in the lead position. And scarily enough, Keisuke, that's almost untidy from Connor compared to how he's been driving.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a starter motor issue, but whether that's going to affect how he's gone as we watch the GT radio replay here, Connor a lot faster than Adam Whitehead there, but Adam doing a good job trying to get that proximity. Connor, yeah, just a couple of errors in the front end there, but Adam Whitehead as well, trying to make that proximity back, and he does a bit of a funny line as he comes around to outer zone 4 as they switch back, and Connor just getting into that CRC wall ride, trying to fill that zone, but just fighting with the car a little bit. But Adam doing a good job as they cross the finish line.
Do you know what that feels like? That feels like what was happening to him at Tairāwhiti when he was having the steering issues and the car was just got a little bit unbalanced in the front end. They got it sorted and they got it settled back down. Once it was settled, it was super smooth. But it just looks like a replay of that same body language within the car again. I've got no doubt that the team with allegedly the best bacon and egg pie in Rocky Road in the pits will be spinning spanners and getting that thing top notch. But here we go as Adam Whitehead in the PureTech machine leads away. He initiates nicely, fills up all his zone number 1, Keisuke, gets out to 2 very nicely, gets out to 3 very nicely. But Adam Whitehead is going to know that Connor Halligan right on him here as they go to VIP, and he's run a tyre off.
Going to do a good job to just imitate what's happening in front of him with Adam Whitehead setting up for CRC wall ride. Connor right there on his door, just adjusting to Adam Whitehead's speed there as they come in across the finish line side by side.
Yeah, Adam's line got untidy through 3 into 4 there. You'll see as we take a look at the GT Radio replay. GT Radio, of course, are our presenting sponsor as well for this weekend, along with our presenting partner, Trust Tairāwhiti, the Regional Economic Development Trust. So right here, watch this. There's a wheel goes off the inside for Adam. I think that's actually 2 off the inside there, and then it puts his line all wrong, so you'll see him come up out of the outer zone 4 and then fall back down into outer zone 4, and that will be a deduction there that the judges will have picked up on. And then just the pressure from Connor Halligan, just super smooth there, closing out his chase there. Could have literally leaned out the window and tapped that door.
Yeah, no, it was a good run there by both drivers as we wait for the result from the judges down. Be interesting to see how they call that.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the man who has been in form at this moment, just because we did see that tyre go off, and there it is. Locks in, it is Connor Halligan.
Another step towards the championship. I mean, I've got to say, I've seen some battles this weekend. That was brilliant.
I'm glad to hear that, yeah. Well, I think we'll have to keep turning it up a little bit, I'd say, to carry on through. But, yeah, happy with that. Good start to the day, for sure.
All right, keep going. Let's move on into the top 8. That was the start of the top 16. Adam Whitehead, I know you didn't get the win here, but when you're in a battle like that, it's not so bad, is it?
Oh, it's not so bad when the other guy wins like that. You know, we had 2 good laps, very good laps. It was a great battle. There's a reason why he's at the pointy end of the field, eh? All those minute adjustments in the battle it's the reason why he's up the top. But it's good learning from those types of drivers, and you can only make yourself better, eh?
Mate, you're a great watch. Hope you enjoyed the weekend.
Yeah, I love it. Hopefully we'll be back here next year.
Thanks, mate.
Great ambassador for his sponsors is Adam Whitehead, AW Drift. The social media handle has the Linglong tyre on the car. Keisuke, next battle, very interesting. Ben Jenkins, Brodie Maher, two guys who have shared a workshop for however many months while Toretto has been in New Zealand. Benny, a larrikin, but fair to say a competitive larrikin.
100%. I mean, Ben's right up there in the championship points. He's currently third in the series. So he knows how tough a competitor Brodie is. I think he will be G'd up for this battle here as they come to line up. And Ben has decided to lead in the first run here with Brodie in the chase. So Brodie, obviously a hard charger. He will be very aggressive in the chase there too. Hopefully not too aggressive where there's too much contact.
Feels like a smarter strategy from Ben because we have just seen that slight lack of speed from Ben in his lead runs. So I don't think you want to be trying to chase Brodie Maher on a semi-used type. We'll let you call this one through, Keisuke.
As Ben comes around and initiates into the link initiation zone. A little bit of a timid initiation there, but fills out of zone 2 very well. Brodie doing good in the chase to adjust, filling that out of zone 3 as they come to switch and into out of zone 4. Brodie leaving a little bit of a gap there, a bit of a shallow line, but Ben doing a good job filling that out of zone 4 as they come into setup into the CRC wall ride there. Brodie just trying to get that proximity there as they come across the finish line side by side.
It feels like two drivers who know each other really well, doesn't it? They just were able to kind of mimic each other in terms of driver line, driver behaviour. GT radio replay on the screen here. Benny Jenkins drags it in to get out of zone number 2 there, fills up out of 2. Brodie on a slightly shallower inside line there, but nothing too bad there from a proximity point of view. Got 3, both of them transitioning nicely as they lined up for the VIP frame and truss out of zone 4. Brodie possibly could have been a little bit further up the track. Benny then got really deep towards the outside there. You saw that telltale yellow plume of smoke coming off those tyres, and then Ben again transitioning nicely and setting himself up for the CRC wall ride. And you could see there just how confident Brodie was and how trusting of Ben's driving was. He was happy to sit just that metre proximity for him. He knew he wasn't going to play any silly games, knew he wasn't going to make an error, and I think these guys will high-five each other and celebrate either way.
Yeah, I think they're having fun.
Yeah, I do think they're having fun. So we can call through the Tasmanian Terror very shortly with 1,000 horsepower of 2J up against, was it 900 horsepower of RB?
2J. As they come into the initiation, Brodie doing a very good initiation there, very deep into outer zone 1, maybe a little bit shallow in outer zone 2, but goes into outer zone 3. Ben doing what he can, transitioning behind him. Oh, very close as they come and transition to outer zone 4. Ben doing what he can to close out that proximity. Brodie putting on a very, very good lead line. Has actually gapped Ben coming into CRC wall ride, and Ben doing what he can, going on the inside to make up that proximity as Brodie goes across the line.
Did he misjudge how much mechanical forward grip that Brodie had there and just got gapped out of that outer zone 4 there?
Yeah.
Like he was kind of sitting on a shallow line, like angle-wise. Ben just had to take everything out here, I think, to try and hang with Brodie, just to stay with him. And then you can see how they knew exactly what was going to happen here. But it's just through the end of this corner here. Watch how Brodie just jumps on the loud pedal. Ben's had to chock up a little bit, and then Brodie just rockets forward. And then Ben from there is kind of playing catch up and has to sit on an inside line there and has to go right to the inside there to try and attain proximity. But unfortunately, that could have some significant impacts on Ben's championship going into Bay Park. But I can see there already the wise men looking at the replay, Keisuke. Is there anything else in that? I wonder if we'll get another look at it. Sometimes we do get another look when the judges are wanting to look over finer details on a run. Is there anything you can think of there? Did Brodie do anything notable? I saw Taylor just lock in a result there, so Taylor looks like he's comfortable with what he's seeing. Darren and Andrew still looking, so those devices are how they look in results.
Yeah, so the only thing obviously that I would probably look at is going for the outer zone 4 and see what happens. Like, I mean, with Ben obviously slowing up, is that because of
side by side?
Yeah, is that because of Brodie's lead there, and that's why that gap happened, or is it because of Ben's mistake? So I think they're looking at the side by side here. Ben doing a very good job on the lead run, and obviously Brodie doing a very good job there. But out of zone 4 is where it's going to be interesting. But
I think it's
see how we go.
The notable difference is just that proximity, isn't it, through out of zone 5 from Ben compared to Brodie. But then it's cause and effect. So the judges are trying to work out whether there's anything that's happened there that has impacted it. It does look like the call is made. So a bit of a split decision there, Keisuke, but going through is Brodie Maher.
Heard you in the last run talking about the car. How's it feel? It's obviously good enough to get the win in the 16 going to the 8.
Yeah, so we fixed a little alternator issue we had, so we're definitely back, and that was full attack. Big shout out to Ben, that was probably the best lead I've chased all weekend, and that was so much fun. Big shout out to the Gizzy crowd here too, because what an absolute vibe this weekend is. Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, I'm staying with the Jenkinses tomorrow night, and my car does live there. It might be a little bit awkward tomorrow, but congrats to Benny. I know he wouldn't want me to throw a batter for him to win the championship. He wants to win it straight up. He's that sort of dude, but yeah, I'm glad we got to finally battle, but it's a little bit awkward.
Well done, mate. Let's have a talk to Benny, because this Fenix S15 is one of the prettier machines. Don't know about the drive, if we call them pretty or not, but I just wondered in that chase run coming out of zone 4, it looked like he had a bit of a blip there.
Yeah, he was hard on the left foot brake, like whole section. That car's a rocket. When he pulls his foot off the left foot brake, it's gone. So it's very, very tough to chase to do that. And he had a bit of a murmur as we came through, and I was into his driver's side door on that little switch, and then he banged it so fast. It stopped so fast, that car, and then on the left foot brake. So it was just hard to chase around that corner. But hey, hats off to Brodie. He rents a spot in my workshop. All his gear's going to be out on the road on Tuesday, that's for sure. If he needs a place to stay, he better look for a hotel, I tell you that. But hopefully he goes all the way. Sounds like him and Connor Halligan are next. So us three, we put crew together. And yeah, who's going to be going home first?
Well, it looks like Brodie Maher's going to take a long trip home. Always good to see you do your stuff, man.
Look, and a massive thank you to my crew. Look, these guys, they're not paid to be here or anything, and they take so much time off their work. The people at home that are helping out, the people that come and support me, it's just it's amazing. I'm so happy heading into Bay Park. It's going to be a good couple of weeks leading up.
You're a good bugger. See you at the Bay.
See you guys. Thank you.
But the character is Ben Jenkins, our broadcast colleague, electing to focus on driving. Interestingly enough, even though Brodie has taken him out, he can actually play Ben back into the game by taking Connor out in the next battle.
Yeah,
so
you're not wrong.
Then it's all just going to be down to what happens with Dave Steedman on the other side. So the three guys who are pitted together are all impacting each other's championship. And in the meantime, Dave Steedman's just sitting on the other side of the draw going, well, okay, I'm okay.
I'm good.
I'm happy. I'm happy, Dave. I'm not grumpy, Dave. I'm happy, Dave. Speaking of, Michael Thorley's got to be happy, Keisuke. He's got the call in the bank. He's in the top 16. He's up against David Hunter. It looks like he's leading first, is he? So
that is correct,
yeah. Hunter's chasing first. Is the higher qualifier, David Hunter, electing to chase first? Interesting.
All right, he's going to run one. Mike Thorley in the lead. David Hunter in the chase as they go into the initiation zone. Both doing a very good job in the initiation. A little bit inside in terms of line there as they fill out of zone 3. Come into the switch. Good switch by David Hunter as they come into out of zone 4. Mike filling that out of zone. A little bit off. A little bit wide there by Mike. They're doing a good job trying to get it back as they come into the switch into the CRC wall ride. Mike a little bit on the inside. David doing a good job there, just imitating what Mike's doing as they fill the zone and cross the line.
Yeah, so Mike not quite as deep as he should have been through out of zone 5 there, and David, as you pointed out, mimics exactly what Mike was doing in the chase position there, so using the leading car as a clipping point. But a nice solid run there through the first half from Mike Thorley. Obviously, I feel like the aggression has gone up a level. Mike is a guy who you and I like to bag him a little bit. We say that he sometimes drives that little bit safe. He's that 98, 99% as opposed to the 102 to 105 that some of the other drivers are. It usually means that his car goes home, hopefully in one piece, but not always. Sometimes things don't play out. But let's see what happens here. It'd be interesting to see from a strategic point of view if David Hunter is able to, in a big car, still have enough tyre left to maximise advantage versus Thorley, or whether Mike Thorley on the GT Radial will be able to hammer this one home. So Keisuke will call us off the line as we roll into the top 16 battles.
Right, David Hunter in the lead, Mike Thorley in the chase. David off the line, leaves a bit of a gap between Mike trying to find that gap, will chase that gap as they go around into outer zone 3. David filling that zone very well. Mike switching behind him as they come into outer zone 4. David very, very deep into outer zone 4. Good job by David in the lead there. Mike doing what he can as they switch into their CRC wall rides. Mike a little bit inside to just gain that proximity back into David. David, very, very good line, very consistent as they cross the line.
Yeah, nice drive by David Hunter. We sort of mentioned earlier we felt like he'd snuck under the radar a little bit. He qualified in position number 4, the big C33 Laurel from Max Civil. Got 1, got 2, got 3 really nicely and put the pressure on Mike Thorley. We wondered if he was going to have enough tyre left, but he certainly did have enough rubber to go real deep here into outer zone 4, sponsored by VIP Frame Trust. And Mike Thorley's had to shortcut across the inside of the track, wasn't able to really apply any pressure there, and then he dove back down to the inside there on out of 5, and I think we will probably see a call in favour of the big old giraffe, and there it is, David Hunter going through. David Hunter going through.
David Hunter taking the win. You're a rocket ship out there.
Thank you very much. Oh, you don't know how much this means to me, man. We're on the comeback. Car's feeling like it used to drive like in pro sport, so hopefully find our bearings and take it to the top. Just want to say a big thank you to Aaron Habib. He's the main man behind the scenes that is unfortunate that couldn't be here. So yeah, big thoughts out to his friend that he lost over the weekend due to him not being here. So yeah, that's all I got to say. But thank you guys. See you in the next one.
We'll see you in the 8, David. We'll just catch up with Michael. We're here to give you some love, mate. How did that feel?
It was good. Dave was a mean driver. That was a fun battle. But yeah, I just got to get some more speed in the car and a bit more power and try and compete with him.
Should we see you back in a Laurel?
We're working on it. Yeah, bring back the Laurel.
You're comfy in there. I will see you next round.
Thank you, Joe, bringing us thought. Well, I want to know what soundtrack David Hunter was listening to. He was clearly on a vibe there, wasn't he, Keisuke? He was having a great time. Keisuke and I are having a great time here in the at the GT Radio round number 4 of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. We are, of course, a sanctioned motorsport New Zealand championship. Now, we are in Tairāwhiti Gisborne, the coast of the rising sun. Hosts the sport, born in the land of the rising sun for the very first time. And thank you to our presenting partner, our Trust Tairāwhiti, who invested $65,000 in bringing the sport of drifting to the beautiful rohe of Gisborne. And we're loving being here, Keisuke. I want to come back. Do you want to come back?
I definitely want to come back. I really want to see this track being used more and more frequently.
You want to drive, don't you?
I love to drive. I really want to drive here. Yeah. It's really suited for any type of car, low power to high power. And yeah, I really want to come back.
We tried to get you a drive yesterday, and rather than letting you drive, Adam Davies crashed his car into the wall.
Selfish.
Yeah, it's very selfish. Oh, what a beautiful venue as we look at the majestic scenery that is New Zealand, as we watch a mechanical run here for the Corbin Wilson Sheds for You machine. So thank you to Sheds for You for sponsoring Corbin. That is not the way you do a mechanical run, Corbin, by taking your bumper off on the wall.
Everyone put their hands up for Corbin Wilson, obviously one of the local drivers here from Gisborne in his newly built S15. They are just putting it on the ball, putting a show on for the crowd.
Yeah, and there's a Wilson Motorsports stand too. There is a Drift Fox friends and family section out there cheering for the Drift Fox. And now that he's stopped making rowdy noises, give us a wave up there on the Drift Fox stand. There we are, having some fun up there. Thank you to Sheds for You for being part of putting that together. And I'm hearing a lot of talk locally, Keisuke, about building cars, about supporting the sport, about how much economic benefit having D1NZ in the Tairāwhiti Gisborne region has brought. Riet Stoltz, the mayor, was here doing a hot lap with Sean Potros. She absolutely loved it. She talked about accommodation nights, about how much coffee's been bought, how many pies have been consumed.
And they've been really good coffees and really good pies too.
Few Gizzy Golds. There is, hello Popper. Hi Popper, you're on screen, Popper. Give us a wave. That's Corbin's Popper up there. Hi Tammy, thanks for the car, Tammy. We appreciate Tammy too. She's been getting us round here, and Sophia. Thank you. And if you're a student of hers, you all have to be at school tomorrow. No wagging school tomorrow, or Miss Wilson's going to tell you off. Except if she wags too, and then it's okay. Sorry, I just said that on national TV. Sorry, Tammy. Sorry, I'm in trouble now. I'm getting told off. All right, so great time we're having here at Keisuke, and a big thank you to all of our partners indeed, Aratu Forests, H BlackBee Contractors, H BlackBee Crushing, Tairāwhiti Contractors, Curry Construction, Launch Construction, Puma Group Gisborne, Gisborne Hiabs, Border Hire Gisborne, Gisborne Boys High School, Awapuni Speedway, Trust Tairāwhiti, Gisbuild, Duke's Carriers, Container Space, Stone Transport, Inline Marking, and Sheds for You. So thank you all local partners. Give yourselves a round of applause for being part of D1NZ, being here in the coast of the rising sun, hosting the sport from the land of the rising sun for the very first time. And without the actions of Boss BlackBee, of Wereta Kake and the whānau, we would not be here, Keisuke. So seeing his vision come to life
is unreal.
Is absolutely unreal. And you know what? I feel like doing this. I got to do this yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. Well, we've got a quick moment, and I hope this goes out live on Sky TV. Ladies and gentlemen, show me that the provinces do this better. I'm going to count you down from 3, 2, 1. I want you to clap your hands. I want you to stamp your feet. And I want you to make as much noise as you can for Boss BlackBee, for Wereta Kake and the entire whānau. Let me do this real loud as you possibly can. Go 3, 2, 1, and show me how loud you can be. They do it better in the provinces, don't they, Keisuke? Provincial pride. Tairāwhiti Gisborne bringing the noise for us here at the H BlackBee Drift Park. And you're on TV now, some of you. See if we can pick someone out. Gentleman in a pink t-shirt, you're on TV. There's a kid there in some orange earmuffs. We are looking at the kids playing in the stand. I wonder if that's H BlackBee products down there.
Sandpit.
Sandpit? We've got a sandpit here at the concrete jungle. That's fantastic, isn't it? Wonder if that was just here when we got here, or whether someone put that in for the kids. It seems like something we could have.
Yeah, we'll go.
We're a family-friendly event, so. All right, Keisuke, our first look at Dangerous Dave.
Yes, he's finally out for his battle against Roddy Knowles in the MTF Finance Amalgamated Roofing S13.
How much would it mean for Roddy to go to the podium though? Just where he's. So Dave is currently number one on the points ladder, right? So at the moment he's got a 28-point lead over Connor Halligan. Connor Halligan is already in the top 8, so Dave can't afford to lose and give up any points advantage. Anything Connor does, Dave has to do, and vice versa. So I've also noticed too that there's a distinct theme on one side of the tree, Keisuke. There are all very long, lengthy gentlemen who are about 6'7" tall on one side of the tree. Connor Halligan, Brodie Maher, David Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Giraffe fighting.
Yeah, they are very tall.
Just giraffe fighting. And then what will happen is we'll get Sean Potros in there too, and it'll get real wild. But here we go. Off the line, Keisuke, call him through as they initiate.
All right, we have Dave Stephen in the Mimico Hydraulic S14 going very, very good and wide into outer zone 1 and 2. Roddy doing a very good job there in the chase, just imitating what Dave's done as they cut into switch into the outer zone 4. Dave doing a very good line there in outer zone 4. Roddy just got a little bit of proximity there as he tries to gain it back as they switch back into the CRC wall ride. Good setup there by Dave. Roddy just a little bit inside, just trying to gain that proximity as they come and cross the finish line side by side.
Have you seen Roddy chase like that before?
Oh, the last one wasn't too bad by Roddy, so I think Dave's actually got a little bit of stuff to do if he wants to keep up with Roddy. Roddy doing a very good job here in the initiation as we watch the GT Radio replay, and from there, you know, I mean, Dave's, as per Dangerous Dave, he's got the line, he's got the zones, he's done a great lead for Roddy to chase there. A little bit there, just Roddy not getting that proximity and having to go inside there, but Dave hitting, I think he's actually tapped the wall, and he's gone back on the inside as he fills the zone back as they finish the run. So
my observation would be the drivers who are kind of in the top 4 or 5 in the championship seem to be able to extend out deeper into 5 in the chase position. Those slightly lower down the total don't quite have that speed.
All right, run 2, Roddy Knowles in the lead. Dave Stephen in the chase. What can Dave do as Roddy comes in and fills out of zone 2 very well. Dave getting that door as Roddy comes into that switch. Good switch by Dave as they come into out of zone 4, and Roddy doing a very, very good job here in the lead. Roddy filling that zone and out of zone 4. Dave doing what he can to switch back. Oh, has he?
No, I think that's Roddy's speed coming out of that corner that's impacted on him there. I just feel, I think Dave was right there on him, and my observation here. So let's take a look at the GT Radio replay. Right now, this is a phenomenal job here from both drivers. Both of them doing a good job through GT Radio. They get Boss BlackBee out of zone 2. They get Trust Tairāwhiti out of zone 3 here. Transition and synchronization there nicely through the middle of the track out to 4 here. Now what you'll see here from the next shot here is you'll start to see Roddy just slightly lose momentum a little bit, and I feel that just right. See how there was a little check up there? I think that might have caused a slight hesitation from Dave, and that has impacted his rhythm. Dave's then transitioned and he's tried to massage the cut track. He's definitely not as shallow as Roddy was through the inside there. So if you're going lead for lead, chase for chase, my money says it's probably Dave, but if I'm Roddy, I'm not feeling unhappy about either of those.
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes Rhodey's way either, but yeah, there we go. The result is in, and it is Dave Steeman going through.
Dave Steeman, that was absolutely crucial for you in your championship fight, but what a battle.
Oh yeah, not the tidiest, like not my best lead by any means, and I got a bit choked up at the end. Didn't stretch it out enough into turn 5, but so awesome battling Rhodey. It's always a good time, so I'm super stoked to go through.
Oh, well, you and Connor are both into the 8, so we'll see what happens on that end of the points. Just have a quick chat with Rhodey. You're looking so comfortable and so hungry. How is it?
Hey, when you've got the benchmark in the business, you have to be as hungry as ever. I'm one of the older people in the field. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to keep going at this level. So every battle's the final, mate. And yeah, I just want to shout out to Amalgamated Roofing, Electrical Solutions BOP, Bex, Brad, Ella, Sasha, Layla, and Marshall, and my team. And it's been a massive weekend. We've had our trials, and yeah, thank you.
Well, it's been great to see you not fall victim to any mechanical and go out with a really big fight. Can't wait to see you throw down at Bay Park.
Yeah, mate, we'll be there. Thank you.
All right, so you can hear the sounds of cars scrubbing there in the TTI scrub box, but let's take a look at the championship order at the moment, and this is updated post-qualifying, so it is dangerous. Dave Steedman, 3:08 with a slight advantage there over Connor Halligan and then Ben Jenkins in third, although we have seen Ben go out. So that opens the door right up Keisuke for these drivers here from 5 through to 10. They are now well in the hunt for the overall season podium. That third spot opens right up as we build towards Bay Park. Tickets now available, Keisuke. I know you want to kind of drive, but there's also a school of thought of, hey, maybe I don't get involved in spoiling someone else's party. But
100%.
Someone who doesn't care about that is Dan Edwards,
Yes.
who we haven't seen yet. So yeah, it's going to be a hell of a title fight at Bay Park as we crown a champion. We already know who our Pro Sport champion is. It is Blake Miles. He doesn't even need to turn up, to be fair, at Bay Park, and he's crowned himself champion. But he will, and he has actually given me a little decree that he is going for Luke Fink's season points record.
Right. He's going to the first run. Fanger Dan opting to lead first as Sean Potros doing what he can in the chase. Fanger putting it on a phenomenal lead as Sean. What is he going to do in the switch there as he switches very aggressively going into outer zone 4? Is he going to be able to maintain that proximity? Gets back on Fanger's door. Fanger doing a good job in outer zone 4 as they switch back into the CRC War Run. Good setup there by Fanger. Sean doing what he can to get back that proximity as they come around and cross the finish line.
So just remember too, for our viewers who may not have watched a lot of drifting before, Fanger Dan's on the other side of the car. That's an American build, so Fanger Dan is driving on completely the opposite side of the car than we would here on New Zealand roads. So this is a very, very different challenge for him, and you can see how comfortable he is, just his years of experience. But Sean Potros is not afraid of Fanger at all. He's not afraid of anyone. H BlackBee on the door, and he is looking to well and truly crush Fanger Dan's title dreams here this weekend. Sean Potros wants to put himself on the podium to reward his team for that overnight engine build that he talked about last night. The boys from 57D and the H BlackBee team, STMP Motorsport, just thrashing all night just to get that car back out on track here. And Sean Potros will not go down without a fight here against Fanger Dan. And we are going to see a wild top 8, Keisuke, no matter which of these two goes through. With Connor Halligan, Brody Martin, David Hunter already locked down, whoever goes through of these two is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, 100%. Spectacular as it is as we watch run 2. Sean Potros in the lead. Fanger Dan in the chase. Fanger trying to get that proximity back on Sean. Sean trying to fill that outer zone 2 and 3 as they come into the switch. Watch Fanger got to do in the switch there as they come around into outer zone 4. Sean doing a phenomenal job hitting outer zone 4. Maybe a little bit short in the midsection, but goes back out wide. Fanger just losing a little bit of that proximity as Sean sets up for the CRC War Ride and doing a pretty good job. Consistent wide arc by Sean. Fanger right there on his rear quarter as they finish across the finish line.
Are you brave enough to make a call, Keisuke?
No, I'm not, because
are we going to see it one more time off this one?
There might be our first one more time in Pro, I think. As we
Sean,
watch the
a
GT
little
Radio
bit
replay.
shallow through there, maybe. Like you're looking for minute differences,
Yes,
right?
Yeah, it will come down to that. It's the level of class that we've got in the Pro Series. But like again, Sean and Fanger, very, very consistent drivers, both in lead and chase.
Fanger has the ability to transition to angle quite differently to anyone else in the field. Just the way that Mustang RTR 5D is set up. he just has the ability to crank to lock but continue to travel forward. So it is really interesting watching him battle someone like Sean, who is known for unpredictable angle, and we have a result locking in. Fanger Dan, Daniel Woolhouse goes through.
Fanger Dan, I see teams out here rebuilding cars, repairing damage into walls, but your famous steed is just carrying you elegantly to the top.
Oh, that's so cool. I knew it'd be a real good battle against Sean. Every time we meet each other, it's balls to the wall. So, yeah, I'm just trying to lay down real good lead runs, and I can feel them on me, but I'm just like, oh, I'm not worrying about it. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and yeah, it's freaking awesome, man. I'm having so much fun out here.
Epic. And do you think being on the other side of the car has given you an advantage or a disadvantage at all?
Yeah, definitely. As soon as I saw the drone layout and stuff, I was like, yeah, left hook, this round's definitely going to be advantage to us. But the wind is blowing it back on us when we come into the outer zone just by the judges' tower. So you lose sight for a little bit there, but the car feels good, and yeah, we're just having fun.
Oh, well, all the best for the rest of the weekend. I do just want to touch base here with Sean. You have been rebuilding everything, and I know that it's been huge for yourself and Wedata with Boss on your team as well. You've got a few people to thank for keeping you in the game this weekend.
Yeah, just like a massive thank you to the BlackBee, whole East Coast family. Like Tairāwhiti Contractors, Curry Construction, everyone's played a part, even though, behind the scenes that no one will see. Wedata's probably put in countless hours, here, and it's like, the dream, it wasn't, his vision of what we were hoping for, but, the weather was, I wish it was like this on the practice day, not raining, but, yeah, just a massive thing, yeah, the crew, everyone, we had the Pullenbury since Pukekohe go over the car, and, fine-tuned a lot of stuff out of this, so it's, feeling way more comfortable, just, yeah. Better and better.
Thank you. From the D1 team as well, we want to say thank you to Wedata and Boss from H BlackBee, working with the D1 team for the last couple of weeks, getting this venue all set up. It's been epic. Not quite the way it wanted to go for any of you, but we'll see you at Bay Park.
Yeah, no, sure will.
A little bit of emotion there from Sean, a little bit of checked up there. What's Fanger Dan doing? Just shaking hands? Just got a message through, by the way, saying follow Drift Corp on the socials. Yep. So Drift Corp recruiting a new breed as they rebuild. Trent Unbranch, John Atwood and co. Fanger Dan still the old stager though, and still very much a benchmark in the sport. Chance for me to say hello to some people who are watching in live stream land. I just had a message from my dad. He's tuned in. Cool. Hello Brian, hello Kimberly, hello Di, hello Melissa, and hello Mac, who probably is just watching, waiting for snacks to be fair. So hello to the family tuned in. Is your wife watching Keisuke, or is she out with the food truck today?
Yeah, she's at Hampton Downs at the moment, doing the food truck. So
what's on today?
Street to track.
Street to track. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's. I don't know how to predict what's going to happen here.
No, this is going to be wild.
Because Scotty D and Braden Meir are two of the hardest charging young men you'll find in the D1NZ game. There was a little jump there from Braden.
Yeah, I think Braden wants to keep up with Scotty D. Scotty D in the BMW E92 in the lead, doing a very good job there, as he has been doing all week, and Braden doing what he can to get that proximity both into outer zone 3. Switches back, good switch by Braden there, just getting that proximity back on Scotty D as they come into outer zone 4. Oh, he's on his door as Scotty D goes into CRC Warride. Braden maybe getting a little bit too greedy as he loses that proximity, tries to gain it back by going on the inside, and Scotty D doing a very good job up front as they cross the finish line.
I think he pushed it too hard, didn't he? He just found himself trapped there. He was so aggressive trying to attack there. Scotty D has looked so settled, so comfortable, so confident all weekend. Let's take a look at the GT Radial replay here. They come out of the launch, Master Willie, Monster Zone. They go through the Link ECU initiation round, GT Radial Turn 1. Boss BlackBee sponsoring Outer Zone 2, Trust Tairāwhiti sponsor Outer Zone 3. Both of them filling those really nicely. Through here is really interesting here. Braden just bites off maybe a little bit more than he should have. Got too aggressive, got to the inside here, and then found himself trapped and didn't really give Scotty enough room to transition back. So I think if the judges were looking at that, they may possibly penalise Braden for that. But then Braden kind of self-penalised and had to fall back out of that, and that's Scotty D's probably not a driver that you want to hand an advantage to in the kind of mood that he's in.
Yeah, he's done probably the most laps this weekend as we go into the second run. Braden Mayer in Mayer Metalworks S15.9 as they come in. Scotty right on his door. Braden doing a good job filling outer zone 2 and 3 as they come around. And Scotty switching right on him as they come around into outer zone 4. A little bit of a late switch by Scotty. Braden piles on the angle as they come to outer zone 3. A little bit of adjustment there in the front just to recorrect where he's going as they set up into CRC Wall Ride. And Scotty right on Braden. Right on Braden's door.
Oh. They say Scotty doesn't know, but he definitely does. He could have leaned out the window and tapped Braden's helmet then. Going through that CRC wall ride, we're going to take a look at this GT radial replay again. Now, there are a couple of corrections here in front from Braden Mayer, so it's not a perfect lead run there, and Scotty D, conversely in the chase position there, has flattened out a little bit, not carrying a lot of angle there. I don't think he's straight there, but he has had to take a lot of angle out of the car. But then Braden makes a steering input, as you identify there, Keisuke, out of zone 4, and then right here you'll see Scotty D just slides right up to the door there, and he is right there, maybe 10 centimetres off Braden Mayer, and that is as close as you can chase without making contact and interlocking wheels. A hell of a battle from two hard chargers, and going through is Scotty D!
I watched the chase, and I got to say this, I saw Rhodey Knowles in his chase get onto that back of that car early before the initiation. Makes an enormous difference.
Nah, that's the one, mate. First of all, hey Peter, the car's going real good. I'm actually getting real comfortable in the car, which is I'm loving that. The boys actually we got a real good system running now, and I'm loving it. Braden had an awesome lead. Full of adrenaline, I love it. Managed to really tuck in on that last quarter. Hadn't scratched the car actually all day, and finally bloody clipped the wall in. So, I've been loving it. Hands off to Gisborne, mate, and H BlackBee. You guys have done an awesome job here.
Dave Steedman next.
Yeah, how good. Dave's an epic driver, so we're about to really throw down there, I reckon.
Well done, bloke.
Thank you.
Let's talk to the nightmare, Braden Mayer, who is really just coming on in the season of 2026. Tough one, huh?
Yeah, it was tough, but had some fun. Got a bit greedy in the chase there, and yeah, pretty much that was it.
Yeah, how hard has this track been to get used to over the weekend?
I mean, I've been terrible since just before qualifying. Managed to pull something out of the bag for qualifying, so yeah, it's testing, but that's what I like about it.
Yeah, mate, that's what it's all about, getting better and better as we go along, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Looking forward to Bay Park?
And of course, home track.
All right, get in there.
Sweet as, thank you.
Well, two of the hardest charges you will ever see, Keisuke, and that sets up Scotty D versus Dave Steedman in the top 8, and Dave Steedman's on form, but Scotty D, the smiling assassin at the moment, is going to be a very, very tough battle to win either way. About to see Daniel Edwards, nothing to lose, Dan Edwards, about to see him for the first time up against Kurt Blackie, who we are told is having some steering issues, according to some insights being provided to us. Thank you to all of our pit lane spies who are sending things through to us, letting us know what's going on. But Dan Edwards, he's just got that Shock Pro 180SX just humming, right? It's dialed. I mean, he came out yesterday, and we didn't make enough of the fact that he came out as the very first car to run in qualifying and ran a 95
on his debut.
On debut in pro, right? Like, you know Dan pretty well because you guys battled through the Pro Sport Championship. And he's the nicest guy as well.
Yep.
And he also has one of the coolest dogs at D1NZ. I do have a soft spot for French Bulldogs. Hello, Pablo. Hello, Pablo. I do like dogs. We're also being watched, by the way, by New Zealand's most famous border collie puppy called Eva from the North Shore. Just had a message come through with Eva watching D1NZ for the first time. Kurt's cat will be tuned in too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're wondering what the Wolfie played on the front is. Anyway, back to the drifting.
All right, first run, Dan Edwards goes into the lead. Kurt Blackie, what can he do in the chases? Dan fills that first outer zone very well. Kurt right there with him as they go into outer zone 2 and outer zone 3. Kurt did a good job in the back there as Dan Edwards goes to switch into outer zone 4. Fills outer zone 4. Very, very deep, very good there. Fills the zone completely, taps the wall as Kurt does what he can to adjust into the CRC wall ride. Dan filling that zone unbelievably. Kurt just going, oh, it might.
Don't hit it again. Don't hit it again,
Nearly
Kurt.
got into the wall again as they crossed the finish line. Great run from the both of them.
Okay, has anyone been as deep into that wall ride as Dan Edwards just was? I don't think anyone has. I mean, maybe it's the perception of that big wing with the unique overhang on it, but Dan Edwards is just buried like centimetres off that CRC wall ride. Let's take a look here as they go through the GT Radial replay out of zone 3. Very nice from both drivers. Somebody's annoyed Kurt Blackie. He's just driving with a bit of menace about him this weekend. Like he's kind of banging into things and he's just driving with a bit of aggression. He did that burnout at Pukekohe after Chelsea Denofa told him he couldn't do a burnout, and he's just got a bit of a point to prove at the moment. I thought he was going to belt the wall there again as he drifted up the track, but Dan Edwards just opened that door up, right? Like that's, as a chase driver, that is what you want, right? That is what you want the lead car to do. Just open the door up, keep it smooth, keep it consistent. No games whatsoever from Dan Edwards. Just throw it down there, and I'm looking forward to this now. I want to see what happens here as either Dan moves forward or Kurt moves forward, and Kurt's still hanging around there points-wise. He's potentially a driver who, if he was to maybe go all the way through to the final here, could pick up 100 big points and put himself in contention for an overall podium. As we take a look at some of the scenery surrounding H BlackBee Drift Park here on the beautiful east coast of New Zealand. We are in Tairāwhiti, of course, which means the coast of the rising sun, bringing you the sport that originated from the land of the rising sun, the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. D1NZ acknowledges the iwi of Tairāwhiti, the tangata whenua of the Rohi, and we are honoured to bring New Zealand Premier Drifting Championship to the whenua for the first time. A huge thank you to Trust Tairāwhiti, the Region Community Trust and Economic Development Agency, granting $65,000 in funding from the Regional Event Fund to help bring the championship to Tairāwhiti. And importantly, Keisuke, we are very aware of where we are in New Zealand, and there was appropriate ceremonies conducted on the Friday morning, led by Minister James Green and guided by Ngai Tawhiri Kaumatua Thelma Karaitiana. So I hope I did say that correctly. My apologies if I didn't. Before a wheel was even turned here, and look, the venue wouldn't exist without the vision, the actions of Boss BlackBee of Weretakake and their whānau. So thank you very much to all of you for being part of the bringing of drift to Gisborne for the first time. And we are being told, Keisuke, Kurt Blackie has gone back to the RHP pits and they are bleeding the clutch.
Yeah, so they've called their 5 minutes, obviously, after that's why we're not seeing the second run at the moment. Kurt has the bonnet up and they're just re-bleeding the clutch, making sure that it's good to go, because this course does require a lot of clutch control, more so than handbrake, and they need that clutch to work, especially around that CRC wall tap.
Right, that was Seaton Daly on screen, along with Kurt's crew. Seaton, of course, the team principal, along with Tash behind Team RHP, who you will be able to read about in the next New Zealand Performance Car magazine. The entire RHP team featured in a shoot recently for us, so a little bit of a story behind that has been featured before on Oversteer TV and D1NZ. Real behind the scenes look at what helps bring these drivers and gives these young men and young women a sense of purpose here as they compete towards their drift dreams. And Kurt making use of both scrubbing boxes.
Yeah,
that was
both
interesting.
TTI scrub boxes.
What do you want? What are you doing, Dan? Don't worry about me. I'll just scrub in your box here as well.
All right, run 2, Kurt Blackie in the lead, Dan Edwards in the Shock Pro 186 in the chase. What can Dan do? What does Kurt Blackie do as they come into the first initiation zone there? Kurt doing a good job, switching back. A little bit of a correction there as Dan just holds that proximity as they fill out of zone 2 and out of zone 3. As they come around into the switch, Dan filling that proximity again against Kurt as they come into out of zone 4. Kurt's blown wide, Dan's following him into it. As they keep going, and switch back into the CRC wall ride. Kurt doing a good job kind of filling that zone, and Dan kind of doing somewhat what Kurt was, just going into the inside as they cross the finish line. So
someone go and have a chat with that concrete block as to if that concrete block owes Kurt Blackie money or something, because he has punched it in the face about 15 times this weekend, like just I call it the Sam West school of driving, right? There's 100%, there's 110%, and then there's 120, right? And probably just, I think unfortunately for Kurt, they're a bit of an overdrive up against a driver who's been very surgical. To both drivers' credit there, they did stay in it and they kept drifting. There was no look at backing out there, but if you've belted those cones, then to be fair, you are about a metre beyond where you should be on the track.
Yep.
That's what happens when you hit the cones there, and then you saw Kurt bounce off that wall there, which caused the correction, and given how surgical Dan Edwards was that first time round, you'd think that would probably be enough to send for him. And indeed it is. It is Daniel Edwards going through.
You like pro, don't you?
I do. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely a step up from pro sport. Well, for me anyway.
What are you learning?
A lot, to be honest. Pro sport actually I think it's a good class. It teaches you a heck of a lot. But coming into this is grip and speed is the main factor. That it's like relearning the car again.
Yeah, but first time in pro, mate. Look, you're into the 8, so let's not take it any further. Let's let you get your head around that.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Bring it on.
Let's talk to Kurt. Wolfies look good today. Had to bleed the brakes before then. You know, I want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
You look like you're driving freer this weekend.
I like to drive at 100, and sometimes we push it over that extra couple percentage. Like I did Friday, yesterday, a little bit too much, but was feeling really good in that battle until we started losing the clutch. That's where we went in, pulled our 5, and unfortunately on my lead, I've just completely lost it. And we need a clutch to drive these cars. But yeah, so unfortunately that's our round. But hats off to all the competitors. Just want to say a massive shout out to my whole RHB family, the team. We could not be here without them. They've done a massive job this weekend, considering how much I've smashed this car up. But looking forward to Bay Park, and we'll smash it up some more.
And out of all of this, you've got a little person to go home to.
Yep, I sure do, little Molly.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers.
It's almost a philosophical Kurt there, right? Just knew what had happened there, didn't have the car underneath him, and just accepting of it, and eyes forward, just thinking about Bay Park, thinking about that grand final already, and of course the tickets are on sale, and it does look like he has actually lost that clutch and can't actually get that car going now, so summoning the team to push him. And we are about to see Corbin Wilson for the first time in battle this afternoon. Corbin Wilson, give me a little wave, a little shout out from the Corbin Wilson fan stand. You having a good time up there? Oh, you've extended along. You've kind of just grown and gone along the grandstand now. There's lots of you. You're multiplying. Like gremlins. Just add water. Who knows what happens when they hit midnight? Oh, there's more of you along there too. On the higher platform as well. Anyone else? Anyone else a Corbin Wilson fan, just while I'm doing a bit of a lap around the venue?
Surely support local, right? Your local Gizzy driver there. Corbin Wilson in the lead with Jaron Olive-Krona in the chase. Corbin doing an aggressive initiation there. A little bit wide in outer zone 2 as he comes into outer zone 3. Really, really wide there. Jaron a little bit inside as he watches and switches back into outer zone 4. Corbin doing a very good job in outer zone 4. Clearly has the concrete wall there. They come in. Jaron doing what he can to keep that proximity up. Then Corbin just setting himself up into the CRC wall side. And what's happened there at the end?
Corbin hit the wall and bounced back off, and then he straightened up into Jaron's path, and that was a no-no. That was a specific no-no from the judges. That was part of the briefing pack. So Corbin's maybe got a little bit aggressive there on that outer zone 5 there. Now, I mentioned earlier too, Keisuke, I thought the drivers were actually running a little bit beyond where they should be. Now, Jaron is way offline there, right?
Yeah.
But then Corbin's actually hit a cone here, so he will have a deduction just there, I think it is. And then you see Jaron surge forward, closes up. Now, watch this through the wall right here. Now, Corbin will tag the wall about halfway around, and it pushes him back out in front of Jaron's line there and causes that contact there. So that has impacted the chase car and caused both to go straight before the conclusion of the section.
Correct. So it's before the finish line, which may cause a problem for Corbin Wilson there, depending on how the judges interpret that.
Well, it was Jaron's steering wheel too, wasn't it? So if that wheel was still on lock, then I'm sure the Olive-Krona team are checking that for safety reasons. You wouldn't want to put that car at speed into the wall. So they'll be checking to make sure everything feels okay in the front of that big Lexus RCF. You'll see Kester on screen, I'm sure, along with Nelson and some of the rest of the team there. So they'll just be checking probably steering angle, maybe arms, etc. in the front too. Yeah, so Jaron Oliver-Krona is... so this is interesting. So we've just been told Jaron Oliver-Krona has called his 5, but I would be of the opinion that that contact there was caused by another driver, potentially, Keisuke. So could be... but then he's gone straight to the line.
Yeah.
Now I'm lost. Now I'm confused. He's pulled up and Corbin is not there. Maybe Corbin called his 5, did he? No?
No.
Maybe they've scrubbed it, withdrawn it.
Yeah, I think
okay.
He's like, nah, just run it.
Okay, we're good. All right, let's see what happens. Do you know what's going to happen now? Corbin Wilson is going to stick this thing to his door, and there's going to be purple paint on the side of that Lexus RCF.
All right, let's see. Run 2. Jaron Oliver-Krona, Makasha Trader RC, Lexus RC against Corbin Wilson in the chase. Corbin right on his door as they initiate into zone 1 and 2. Corbin's still there as they go into zone 3, out of zone 3, and switch back into out of zone 4. And Jaron doing a very good job on the lead. They come in and switch. Is he got to be too greedy? No, he's done well to set himself up for the CRC wall tap or wall ride as... Oh, Jaron's over-rotated.
Jaron spins in front of him. We're going one more time.
And the crowd has gone wild.
Yeah, we're going to go one more. That will go one more time because that's going to be 2 incompletes. And I can't see how they can decision off that. But I tell you what, they have real big mosquitoes on the East Coast and they drive RB-powered S15s because Corbin Wilson is an absolute nuisance on this run. He is just buzzing around the back of that Lexus RCF being an absolute pest, and he is right on the door there just saying, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm not letting you go, I'm going to force you into a mistake. And that is what we've been talking about all weekend, Keisuke, is that ability to put pressure on the lead driver and force him to make a mistake, because Jaron knows he can't lift there, and then he is spinning, and he has caused Corbin to come out of that. So there is actually a possibility that they could adjudge Jaron to be at fault on that, not allowing Corbin to complete. So this is going to be really interesting from a technical point of view.
Yeah, I think the judges are still looking at the DSO just to make sure that they are making the right call there, but I do agree. I mean, one of the things is that there was the incomplete on the first lap with Corbin before the finish line, and how they called that second run, with whether there was actually contact before that or not, the DSO judges will have a look.
I don't reckon I don't think Corbin hit him. I think Corbin menaced him into making the mistake.
I totally agree. That's my call as well, but hey, we're not the judges, so we'll just see what the result is. Still waiting.
Do you remember yesterday I did try and talk Stephen McIvor into doing a crane kick like on Karate Kid? I wonder if we could get Stephen to do the crane kick maybe. I know he's stretching. Well, he's limbering up. He's stretching. Yep. He's stretching. I wonder if he can do a crane kick. Oh, we're going back to a replay here. So this is a side-by-side. So I'm pretty sure the first one is a full incomplete.
Yeah.
But... I don't know, because then if it's an incomplete because Corbin belted the wall, then he hasn't allowed Jaron to, so we might be 0, yeah, it might be that whole 0-10-10-0 thing. This is one of those things that I don't like within drifting, but the fairest way generally is to run them again when you have an untidy battle like this. What do you reckon, Keisuke?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's one of those things. I'd like to see them go again because it was a great battle.
Yeah, there it is. One more times all round.
So quite simply, we're going one more time. So get out of here, and we'll be back shortly here at H BlackBee Park.
Yeah, you go first, then I'll go when you come back.
is a glorious Sunday here at Tairāwhiti Gisborne for round 4 of D1NZ, brought to you by GT Radio and presented by the Tairāwhiti Trust. You just look out towards the water, there's a big container ship out there. It is just glorious. What is glorious too is that Conor Halligan is chasing Dave Steedman for this title. Getting the feeling with Ben going early, it might go down to a 2-horse race in this one. I know you're not thinking about that, but the way you're driving this weekend, everything just seems to be in sync.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying. We're definitely in that hunt for that championship. So today is really important for the points. So yeah, we're just trying to do it one battle at a time. We've got Brody up next, so we're going to have to push hard. Did some good laps yesterday together, so we know it's going to be a good battle. So yeah, just one at a time, and then yeah, we'll worry about the championship later.
Yeah, how hard is it to just focus on that? You know it's sitting in the back of your head though, but you've got to get in the cockpit and just do your thing. Does it become a little more difficult the closer it gets?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say I'd be lying if I said no, but you definitely just got to put everything out of your head and just try and focus on driving the car one lap at a time.
All right, mate. Good luck for the rest of the show. Joe, where are you? Oh, over by Brodie Mayer. There you go, Reed, over there.
So here with Brodie Mayer, who Conor is about to battle, you just took out Ben and you're just about to take out someone else that you're pitting with. Had there been any team orders given?
No team orders, but it looks like tacos are off at Benny Jenkins's tomorrow night, potentially. I don't know where we'll go with Conor, but yeah, obviously it's going to be a big battle, and I know we're going to have to drive pretty hard here. I know he's in the championship, I don't want to take him out, but I'm definitely going to drive as hard as we possibly can and just see what happens. I mean, I'm not in the championship, so I'm going to be the little, I don't know, I guess a little thorn in everyone's side a little bit.
Well, you might upset his fight, but I mean, you don't want to be making too many enemies with your friends.
I know, it's a little bit of a weird setup. It is definitely a weird setup. But yeah, we'll just lay it all out in the line and see how we go. I know Conor's not going to want to win any other way, and no team orders around here. We'll just settle it on track. And yeah, I know Conor's got a really good car and he's driving really well. We actually talk a lot even about Sylvia's setup and stuff, and his car's actually pretty similar to my S13 back home. So we're working a fair bit on this Mazda. Obviously, it's not a very normal chassis to use for drifting, and it does some things great, some things a little bit weird, but this is probably my real first outing in an RX-7, and it's going pretty well.
Now, talk us through what you're doing in Drift Tasmania with Drift League.
Yeah, so we're trying to go pretty big back home, and I learn a fair bit even coming to events like this and seeing how you guys do it too, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm trying to elevate a little bit into our first national round later this year, which we're going to call Nations Cup. I'm going to put 10,000 Australian dollars on first place, and yeah, hopefully we can get a few Kiwis over for it.
That'd be awesome. Well, you're getting all the lap time in the world to help cement your championship over there, so all the best.
No, thank you. Cheers.
Okay, I've got David Hunter here. It's really funny this weekend, David. I don't know what's going on here, and it must be the sea air in Tairāwhiti Gisborne. Everybody just seems to be on it, and you most noticeably appear to be on it. Does it feel like it?
No, we definitely feel on, Stephen. I think the boys back home would know us especially as well. Liam Sykes watching from home, my spotter, he can't be here today. So can our Aaron Habib. So yeah, gutted to not have the whole team here, but just doing it for the guys at home and mum and dad as well.
You know, the interesting thing for me, you had a bit of a rough time trying to get a campaign to going about last 2 years maybe, and I was always wondering when you would find that, you sort of find your drift feet, so to speak. And this weekend I was just going, yeah, I think the boys found them.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing it easy though. I've been like throwing as much money as possible at this thing, and yeah, I'm down to my last few bucks today. So it'd be cool to come away with something today, bit of a trophy of some sort, you know. But,
well, you got Fanger right beside you in the next battle, and he's not holding you back. He's like he's got that bully mood about him, old Grandpa.
Yeah, we won't worry about old Fanger, eh?
All right. Well, speaking of Grandpa, Daniel is over there with Joe.
Is here. So we're here with Fang. He's about to take on David Hunter. You know the chassis that he's driving quite well. Is there anything you're going to change about your approach?
Oh, yeah, I had a little play with him on Friday, so yeah, I've learned a couple of things that he does. So we'll try and better on that. And it's a lot harder to find doors for that car than it is some Mustang ones. So yeah, he reckons he's going to rub me up. So bring it on.
I look forward to seeing you guys out there battling.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you so much there.
Dave Steedman, championship leader at this point. Conor Halligan, right up your date right now, mate. Let's be blunt. Are you feeling any pressure?
Oh, there's always the pressure, you know, but we're here to have some fun, and man, we're having some fun here. This track layout is just so cool. designed for chase, and that's where it's at, you know.
For you love a challenge, right? How technically challenging has this drift park been?
It is a challenge, but the great part about it is it flows quite well. It's got the undulations is the biggest challenge, and that makes it a lot of fun. And like I say, it's designed for chase, so getting right in the pocket is so much fun. This is what we do it for, and you know, we're right with the crowd here, putting on an awesome show. I hope they're enjoying it.
Mate, everybody's enjoying. Go get ready. They're scrubbing for this one more time, and best of luck in that, my friend.
So TTI scrub box comes back to life there, Keisuke, and this is the one more time battle between local man Corbin Wilson and Jaron Olive Kroner. Untidy first battle is the way we shall describe that, and the way that shall go into the record books there, Keisuke. Neither driver able to complete really a solid lead run, so interesting just to see whether there's any notable change in the approach here from the young Drift Fox, or whether he just sends it again. I don't know if he knows any other way, to be fair.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a hard charger. He's a peddler. I've driven with him before on the Pro Sport Series, and he was definitely one of the hardest battles I ever had to compete with. So we'll see what happens here in the first run. Corbin Wilson in the lead, Jaron Olive Kroner in the chase. Corbin doing a hard charge into the initiation, and Jaron trying to do as much as he can to keep up with Corbin. Corbin filling out of zone 2 and out of zone 3 very well as they come into the switch. Jaron trying to get that proximity back, and Corbin going very, very filling all that zone and out of zone 4. They come onto the concrete wall there and switch back. Jaron do a good job to fill that proximity a little bit inside. Oh, and Corbin has shut it down.
Shut down.
Shut it down.
Horrible for Corbin Wilson. That may have been one of the best first parts of this section that we have seen the entire weekend. Just watch how aggressive, how flowing, how fast this is. Corbin Wilson right out there on outer zone 1, right out there on outer zone 2, right out almost exceeding outer zone 3. Perfect through the transition here in the middle. I actually thought Jaron Olive Kroner was on the wrong line there, and he picked the wrong place to set himself up and lay that car up, but he was able to come down the track towards Corbin Wilson. Corbin did a great job staying on the gas here. Corbin ran right along the wall, right along that yellow line, but then something just as they've come into the CRC wall ride here, you saw Corbin give it another go, and it just died. It's literally just died on him, and that will zero. He went to go again, and it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Corbin having a few issues yesterday with the car cutting out. The guys at 57D Performance doing as much as they can to get the car up and running again. As we go into the second run, Jaron Olive Kroner in the lead. What can Corbin Wilson do in the chase? Jaron doing a very good job there in outer zone 1 and 2. Corbin right there with him again on his door, giving him a little bit of a rub with his tyres. They switch back into outer zone 4, and Jaron doing a good job filling that zone. Corbin right there with him, and as they go into switch back for the CRC, and Corbin all over him like a rash. Jaron coming around, not hitting that outer zone 4 as much as you'd like to, and Corbin right there put it up for Jaron and Corbin Wilson.
Yeah, unfortunately for Corbin Wilson, he chased as hard as he could, but all Jaron really had to do was complete this run, because Corbin Wilson, unfortunately, unable to complete his lead run. Jaron, nice and tidy through 1 through 2. Didn't have that same depth that Corbin did by any means, but he also didn't need to. He just needed to drive smart here, just needed to put one in the bank here, and that is exactly what he did, filling up the VIP frame and truss out of zone 4 here. Very, very shallow here through the CRC wall ride. If he goes to the next round, definitely not going to get away with that again. Keisuke should have been right out there on the wall. He did have a couple of taps with it earlier, so maybe that's made him a little bit gun shy, but equally also didn't need to trash the car, right, knowing that he was at an advantage. So they will decision that one, but it's pretty easy there, and it is the Lexus Parts Trader RCF of Jaron Olive Kroner.
Jaron, that was epic. Did you know about the advantage that you had coming into run 2?
Yeah, I actually did. It was quite clear when he couldn't finish that the last turn. Unfortunately, his car's shutting down. So I mean, bit of a shame. It would have been cool to see, what would have happened if he went right through. But hey, absolutely stoked. Thanks to all the team, they've worked amazing. I've wrecked the car. I've got a lot of work for Dad to do back in the shed. But awesome event, absolutely amazing.
Well, you'll be looking for a few more panels before Bay Park, but there's still more time to destroy it this afternoon.
Yeah, well, Dad actually said until I actually wreck the whole back of it, he's not going to put a fiberglass rear, so I guess I'm now going to get the fiberglass rear in.
All right, we'll see you through into the next bracket. We'll just have a word with Corbin though. So this has been a huge week. This is your first season foraying into pro, and this is your first time in the pro car. You've had a little bit of practice there. How's it been feeling?
Yeah, no, it's all right. A few car troubles, but I'd just like to thank all my sponsors and everyone that's helped me get here, build the car. Main sponsor for this round, Sheds for You, ProWear, everyone, Haltech, 57D Performance, pretty much built this car, and yeah, they've built me the dream, but unfortunately we may have lost the motor, but hopefully we'll be back for Bay Park.
And we've got a huge thank you to give to your whole family, your old man, and the building of your car, the building of this track, and all the help they've given us on the way. So just give his dad a big shout out.
Yeah, nah, thanks Dad. Also, big thanks to Boss BlackBee, and yeah, thanks to everyone that's helped set up the track and yeah, bring the show to Gizzy.
Awesome. Well, it's been great to see you with so much confidence, and we'll catch you at Bay Park.
Hey, let's hear it one more time, Gisborne, for young local Corbin Wilson. You've done them proud, young fella. You've done them proud. They're still cheering loud on your grandstand section, which seems to have become more of like a whole wall now. Keisuke, it's just growing and growing, the Drift Fox fan base. We're looking at it ourselves. That's our commentary box there with, what's that? Is that Ben Jenkins just loitering down there in front of us, is it? What is Ben doing? Ben's just keen to get back on the PA or something, right? He just wants to come in here and take your headset off you. He's not driving anymore, right? Get out.
We might actually get him to comment on a couple of things. So.
Oh, actually, is that Troy too?
It is.
Oh, Troy's here too. Hi, Troy. Welcome, Troy. We're going to take a look at some highlights now. Highlight for me, of course, the Blake Miles, the new Pro Sport Champion T-shirt. I've managed to acquire one of those. There is still plenty of merchandise available here at D1NZ. Round number 4, we're taking a look at how Clayton Daly took himself out of the competition. Keisuke. Oh, Keisuke's out. Are you going to bring Benny in, are you? We're going to get Mr. Jenkins in here. This should be fun. So looking at he might even be able to get in here and talk about himself. All right. So we're actually just at you. You're here right in time. That's just you doing stuff on the track. Hi Ben, how are you, mate? Are you all right there? Do you remember how this works? We push that button and you start talking to me. Hey buddy.
How are we? It's unfortunate that I'm actually sitting here and not out there joining the crew.
Are you up here just to commentate as Hex, Connor Halligan and Brodie Maher and all those people who were mean to you, or what?
It's going to be an interesting battle to look at, but I don't know which way I want it to go. There's two things there.
Well, so you got 3 pretty good mates of yours, right? And then your granddad, Fanger, all on one side of the tree. So how do you feel about that? Do we support the old fella, or do we support these young hard chargers and Connor, Brodie and David?
Support all those boys. Fang, it'd be good to see him have a good one here. He deserves to have a good round. It's going to be very interesting with Brodie Maher and Connor next. I don't really know how I want it to go. Do I want Connor to be jumping more leagues in front of me in the championship, or do I want to be packing up early with Brodie? That's the thing.
Yeah, so we've got some highlights on screen at the moment. Why don't maybe talk us through just what the track is like at the moment, the conditions, etc. So what sort of, as you face into this, what are you facing as a driver out there?
So it is good today. We've had some consistent conditions and heat. So the track's actually been really good. It's come to the cars very well, and from that first practice we had at about 12 o'clock, it stayed consistent of what I felt. So we've moved through now. I would say, looking at the temperature, feeling it outside, it's probably going to be very similar to our first laps this morning, which is going to be good.
Good news too. We're going to set you up, and you're going to commentate Connor versus Brodie and Connor. So you can just hex whichever one of them you want. I'm not even going to talk. You can just call this one, and that way, no matter what happens, it's your fault. How do you feel about that?
This is a stitch up for the ages, isn't it?
It is. It's 100%.
Boys, Brodie in the lead. Yeah, Connor's chosen to chase.
Strategic.
There we go. Brodie's got a few legs on him on the entry there. Connor going to play a little bit of catch up. He's a touch shallower on angle as well. Brodie just missing that outer zone 2, though, not getting too deep into 3. Nice quick switch. His car switches so fast. Look at him right on that outside zone. Connor having to be a little bit shallow there to catch up to that passenger door on Road Zarek 7. as they switch into that last section, the wall ride. Brody, he's just a little touch off there, Warren, a touch off the wall. Want it to be maybe a little bit deeper into that wall, which I suspect our man Conor Halligan is going to bury that S14 in that corner.
He's been absolutely clinical, absolutely surgical here. What I was going to ask is, do you have any idea of what speed you're approaching that entry at?
I'm not looking.
Are you not looking?
I'm not looking.
What about gear-wise? Are you you're in third and just, what, 8,000 RPM, 8.5
just,
maybe?
Yeah, top of third and just hoping I'm not going to end up in the crowd. That's what you're doing
and
down
you
that
talked
front
about
straight.
earlier, that was where you thought Brody was a bit slow out of there?
That's right, that's correct.
Frustrating for you? Just thought he maybe checked up a little bit on you, and Conor obviously maybe awake to that tactic, was able to close right up onto the rear there, and you mentioned quite rightly too that Brody was probably that extra metre off the wall compared to how deep he should have been, because we haven't seen Conor miss that yet all weekend like that. The guy is on.
That's right. I don't bet $1 we're going to see that S14 deep into the CRC wall ride.
An interesting tactic there from Brody, but called through Ben, see what happens.
A nice, fast, snappy initiation from Conor, grabbing right out on that wall, getting out to outer zone 2. He's filling that box completely. Brody sitting in the pocket. He's going to be careful he doesn't get stuck in the smoke. He's nice and close, though, to Conor. Looking at a nice run here. In the lead from Conor as he blows a touch right into those cones. Brody doing a very good job of staying in the pocket and in the smoke, but here we go. This is where I think Conor will excel. He's in that wall. There we go. Right exactly where they want him to be. But Brody finishing off. That was a spectacular chase.
That was
by
phenomenal.
Brody Maher.
Gisborne, put your hands together for Brody Maher and Conor Halligan. Nobody has mastered outer zone 4 and 5 like Conor Halligan has this weekend. He is just... we used to call Darren Kelly, right? We used to call him Dr. Darren, right? Well, Conor Halligan is the brain surgeon, and here at the moment, he is just every lap. He gets that line, his line into there, the outer zone 4 is quite different to everyone else's, and it just sets him up and it just lays so smoothly around the wall. And then you watch how it sets him up here, and then Brody's had to kind of take a bit of angle out to try and charge up there. And the judges, I think, will penalise him for that because he hasn't rotated around to angle to sit right in the pocket there. Maybe a little bit come back across from Conor Halligan if you're being super critical, right? But here it is. It's a 2-1 to Conor Halligan. 2-1 to Conor Halligan.
Conor, that qualifying run, that battle run almost looked as reminiscent of your qualifying run. Could you have gotten any closer to that wall?
Well, I knew I made a slight mistake behind Brody in my chase, so I had to lay it down. So I was like, right, let's try it all at it and see what we can do. So it obviously worked. So yeah, I'm glad to get through that one. That was a big battle with Brody. Really good mate of mine, and yeah, I knew I was going to have to do everything I could to get through him. So yeah, that's it was cool.
His car is super fast. How do you manage to reel him back in?
Well, that's why I decided to chase first, because I knew that I'd have the new tyres on, and we're sort of starting to struggle for tyre wear on the second lap. We're running out in the last corner, so that's why I decided to chase first. Yeah.
Right, so strategy coming into play. Well, through to the next bracket. We'll see you there.
Thanks so much, Joe, there. As we talked about, Benny, some strategy at play there from Conor Halligan, and it really paid off for him. That probably, if I was to guess, if we were to GPS measure that, that'll be the fastest battle we will have had all weekend. Like, if you watch those two guys point to point, as we've sort of talked about, every time you see Conor Halligan or Brody Maher drive, the two of them know each other so well. They just feel like they're that little, maybe that 10 to 15% more on attack, that little bit more faster. You talk about it in speedway terms, right? Just that forward momentum, that just the drive that both those two guys seem to have. And Conor going through Brody on the trailer, so that puts the pressure on Dave Steadman's shoulders. Speaking of pressure, David Hunter hasn't really had the greatest of seasons. He's in the 8 and he's got old Pops. What's it like lining up against Fanger? Does that go through your mind, or you just put it out of the brain?
I just feel when you line up Fanger, you're going to have an insane battle. He drives so well, so fair. So
you know he's going to open the door up, right? Like he's just going to throw big in. So talk me through what happens here.
Initiating around the cones, Fanger with a nice flick through outer zone 1. He's following that nice arc, nice trajectory round to outer zone 2. But David Hunter sitting there nicely in that big Laurel in the pocket, taking a little bit of a risk and a dive into that zone 4. A tiny little gap opening up there in that zone with Fanger. hard in the loud pedal, but here we go. Fango is into that CRC wall ride quite well at the finish.
I tell you, that's a hell of a chase from David Hunter, though. I don't feel like that big car should be able to do that, right? But because he 100% trusts what Fanger is going to do, you know there's not going to be any games, right? Fanger is just Fanger. He's a veteran, he's OG, but he's also not afraid to pass tips on to you guys. And David Hunter, no matter what happens this weekend, I think he will be pretty stoked with this chase here. Nothing at all, really, that you can fault either on there. It's going to come down to the change over there. Maybe was there a little bit of a steering correction there from Fanger? Just a minor input, like really, really minor?
Just a touch. His flick was very aggressive. Nice flick to angle, but he just had to reduce that angle to create that arc around that corner. Now, as you can see, that's a perfect example watching Fanger back there, the interesting arc that CRC wall set up at. So he had a nice arc around the wall ride, but he got closer to the wall on the initiation into that CRC wall ride and then finished off close as well.
Do you think make a prediction, spoiler, is he gonna dent this door like he said he was going to? He's a man of his word, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe. They're also thinking about it. David Hunter with a nice flick on initiation there. Those fluoro wheels we can see locking around the front zone there. Outside 2, he has his foot buried in the left foot, but this is a nice run, nice chase from Fanger as well. Quick flick into the outer zone 3 from David Hunter. Ripping past our commentary booth. The noise that Mustang gives off in front of us. Into the wall ride, nice from David Hunter, nice setup. But he's just come off the wall a touch, just like Fanger did, and finishing him off on the wall as well. So those were 2 very even runs.
Can you get any closer than that? Like, really, could you be any closer than that? Like, maybe, what, a couple of centimetres? Like, that's... From Fanger Dan, that is just textbook chasing there, but David Hunter has enabled that by just throwing a fantastic lead run there. I didn't think Fanger was going to hold that. I thought he was going to run through the inside of the track there, but somehow he manipulated that car just to coast along the front of what would have been a slight off-the-track moment. It did cost him, I think, a little bit of proximity there, but then he just did what we know Fanger's going to do, right? Cranks the car out to lock, but it still has mechanical forward momentum, and he just closes up on David Hunter. I got to be honest there, Benny. I reckon if I was looking at that as I would almost... With good drifting like that, you almost think maybe you could see it one more time. Is that leaking horsepower? Is David Hunter's car just having a little cry at the moment? Or?
I think he's got water sprayers, so he's just using them after the section.
Is David Hunter RB 2J? What's
1.5J.
1.5J. Right. So for David, if he went to the top 4, that would be his best result of the season. For Fanger, it would probably be an example of just where he feels he should be on a constant basis, right? As a 4-time DK. Do you have a view on that battle? Would you be able to call that one? I know you've been in the judge's seat before, so
I'm just looking at Fanger's. The lead runs to me were very even, and I'm just looking at Fanger's proximity in that last CRC wall ride. I was so focused on David Hunter, I didn't even see how close he was, and they just finished that off nicely. So I'm going to have a little advantage to Fanger Dan.
Yeah, okay. And we have a decision. There we go. One more time. Kotahi te wā anō. You like that? Te reo, courtesy of Tony Cook.
They were so close there. You are going one more time. Looks like you're leaking a little bit of horsepower out the front.
Leaking a little bit of horsepower? No, don't worry about that. It's all right. We're just going to go back out and try to put it on Fanger's door like he was requesting me to do.
Now, I noticed that you opted to chase first.
Yep. Just a personal preference. Feels like it sets you up a bit better when you got to do your lead, but, you know.
Might change it up for the one more time?
No secrets right now. I'm going to do the same again, just keep it the way it's going. But, yeah, hopefully put on a better one for next time.
All right, well, go put some more water in your radiator there. Keep it cool. Any changes in tactic coming in for the rerun for your Fanger?
I think I can just keep continuing to battle that. It's the entry point, you know, like getting that right is the hardest thing, you know, and everyone's got their little way of doing the switchback and getting off the line, but once you get that right, the rest just flows really nice. So I just got to better that in the chase, and I think don't leave it up to the judges to go either, you know, hopefully go my way. So.
Well, it was heaps of fun to watch. We'll see you and David Hunter go at it again shortly.
So So we go one more time there. Perhaps not unexpectedly, Benny, it was pretty hard to separate as a battle. You can stay here with me if you want and call through current Championship Series leader Dave Steedman. Connor is still in competition. There's 28 points separating first and second at the moment yourself. You were sitting right there in third place. There was about a 60-point gap back to you there. So a bit of work to do at Bay Park, but I know you, and you will not give up without a fight. You will want to put yourself on that podium. So we're about to watch Dangerous Dave for Mimico and Hydrolink take on Scotty D. And how good is it to watch Scotty D at the moment?
Scotty D has been driving out of his skin this weekend, so it's going to be a great battle.
Sign off the line, they will roll there into the Link ECU initiation, out into GT Radial turn number 1 here. Got to fill up those big outside arcs there. Dave Steedman perhaps not quite as clinical as he has been in some of his earlier runs, and Scotty D right there in his pocket, transitions nicely in behind him. No changes in proximity there. Oh, no, it's shut down. Dave's car, I'm sure, shut down in front of Scotty. What's just happened there? Have we seen a monumental moment in the championship? Trying to read Dave's body language right there in front of us, Benny. Ben's up out of his seat. Ben's trying to work out what's going on. What's happened there for Dave Steedman? Has the car had just a massive moment, or is something broken in the car? We sort of talked about, Ben, there's been a couple of things with like heat cuts, fuel cuts, all sorts of stuff. Anything you can pick up outwardly there that from Dave? Was there anything in the body? Let's have a look at the GT Radial replay.
I think it may have gone into a false neutral. He runs a sequential gearbox. It looks like he was struggling to get into gear there, so it might have gone into a false neutral. We call it the black screen of doom.
Oh.
And it just goes into a neutral, and then you have to pull another gear. So it looks like the wheels are stopping to spin, so it might have...
Yeah, there's no forward momentum there, yeah. So that is 100% attributable to Dave Steedman. Scotty D not able to complete a chase, and this could be absolutely huge in the championship makeup heading into Bay Park with tickets now available, Ben. What goes through Dave's mind? Because Dave is a mechanic in his own right, so he will know as well what's going on with that car. Are you on camera? Hi, Ben. You're making the most of your entry fees this season. You got a Ben Jenkins T-shirt on there too, have you? Are those still available? Can you get those?
No, these are the crew shirts.
Oh, the crew shirts. Can you buy them?
You can get Phoenix merch online. And,
oh, great.
Phoenixcool.NZ, but hey, it's good to be back here in the commentary box. I don't want to be here so early.
No.
I'd rather be out there driving with the lads, but hey, if I can lend a hand over here and get some technical insight, then I'm happy to do it.
Hey, what did you think of Blake Miles earlier on in Pro Sport? He's phenomenal, isn't he? Should he be in Pro?
Amazing. He needs to be in Pro. He will be in Pro. He'll just have to probably spend a few more dollars on the car to be able to run that. But yeah, he's just a phenomenal driver. Every single lap, he was so consistent. We're watching him around here. He's even got hands out the window halfway through a battle, you know, like that shows how comfortable he is in that car.
So as somebody who works within the trade and also someone who's built a couple of cars, what is that jump from Pro Sport to Pro? Is it gearbox? Is it the winter's diff? Yeah. Is that's the primary expenses? The motors there or thereabouts, aren't they?
That's right. The Pro Sport cars, to be honest, the Pro Sport cars are pretty well there. Most of them have winter's quick change and a G-force or a sequential gearbox of the likes. So yeah, they're pretty much there. Some of the boys don't have the winters because they are a very, very expensive piece of kit. You don't really need them for a 235 radial. But when you're coming up to have reliability, when you're coming up into Pro with these grippy tyres, and the tyres we're running on now are just so grippy. They're so soft after a run. They put so much stress on your drive line. So definitely have to have the right gear there to stay reliable. And that's obviously one thing for me as well. The car's been very reliable, and we're staying consistent and not having too many dramas.
Yeah, I guess in an odd segue, probably the guy who lifted the bar first of all too within the Pro Sports Series was a guy you know pretty well by the name of Troy, who put together that Orange S15, right? He was kind of the guy who lifted the bar in Pro Sports, so to speak. It was kind of grassroots, but then he came along and went, well, we're going to run a program. We're here to win. This is what we need. We do this, we do this, we do this. Yeah. And you were talking to me earlier about the mental game and just the benefits for you as a driver of having someone like Troy who comes in and just kind of takes charge of the program, allowing you just to be a driver.
Yeah, it's amazing. Him not competing this year and helping me out with the boys. We've got such a great team. It lets Tom stay up in the spotter's box and Troy down with the boys, being able to run a tight ship in the pits and even on the dummy grid with me. So it's an amazing
do you reckon I can
asset.
goad Troy into driving? Oh, massive news for the championship. Dave Steedman has just forfeited. Dave Steedman has just forfeited, and that means Connor Halligan has the opportunity to potentially go out of here. Stop grinning. Stop grinning. Where is your Dave Steedman voodoo doll? Is it in your pocket or where is it?
Hey, we don't want to see that. We do not want to see that.
I know you guys are all great mates in the pits there, but that opens the championship right back up again. I'm assuming we are going to hear from Dave. I do think we will probably get Grumpy Dave, not Happy Dave that we've had for the past few rounds, but that is massive news for the championship there. Dave Steedman withdrawing, and Scotty D goes to the top 4 for the first time this season in Pro, possibly the first time for him in the Pro Championship. I know he's been in Pro Sport before, and he has won Drift Wars a couple of times, but Scotty D potentially on for a big result. So we've got Connor Halligan locked in on one side. We're still waiting for David Hunter and Fangadan on the other side, and then Daniel Edwards, Jaron Olivecroner.
It's going to be great. Jaron's been driving very well. And Daniel Edwards, I watched him in practice yesterday when I was having a walk around the other side, and he was nailing that first zone. He's driving very, very well.
I'm not sure if it's the car, just the perception of how he attacks that CRC wall rod. If Connor Halligan's the benchmark, then Daniel Edwards isn't far off.
That's right.
He's got that unique kind of wing end plate on his car, so it drags right along there almost over the top, and it just looks spectacular. But
there's also another aspect of Daniel Edwards, is that he's not in the championship fight. You know, he's just here to enjoy it, to drift, to drive. So you don't have that worry. You don't have that worry of needing to bank all these points. And sometimes when the stress is off like that, you just drive so much better.
You've talked about that before, like the championship thing versus doing activations, etc. I can hear the boss man in my ear trying to get you to talk about an activation you've got coming up, but I'm not sure if you're quite ready to share that yet, are you? Or no, we'll talk about that after. So, oh well, they have tracked Dave down. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to go, but I want to see this first of all, Benny.
Rightio, I've got a feeling this one might be a little bit closer than the last one, if it's going to be possible. But this is going to be an exciting run. 2 very aggressive drivers and 2 very good drivers.
Yeah, we've done a great job so far taking out all your main rivals, so you may as well take out Fanger as well. And then the championship's wide open for you. So Fangadan and the Castrol Mustang, the Spec 5D initiates into 1, gets out to 2, gets... Oh, David Hunter right in the pocket of Grandpa. And he is putting purple tattoos on the door of the Castrol Edge Mustang. David Hunter absolutely driving out of the skin, sticking to what he said. Has dived down to a shallow line there, but the door will get opened back up again for Hunter. David Hunter got to extend it back up the track now, got to close up on Fangadan. Does exactly that, Ben Jenkins, and that is a run from Hunter. Yes, it's not exactly perfect, but David Hunter, if there is a way to say, I'm going to chase you and put pressure on you, that is it.
This lead run from Fangadan, we need to focus on the lead run too. The chase, yes, he was very close in proximity, but Fanga just wide open, running that zone. Little touch there from Hunter by the looks on the door. What Fanga requested, but Fanga's lead run is just flawless here. Hitting the zones on that line that's almost non-existent in the outer zone 3.
Can you see it?
You can't really
Can't
see it,
see it?
there's no way.
So it's all muscle memory?
Yeah, pretty much. As he flicks in there, he does exactly what is needed, Fanga. David a little bit messy out of that zone into the last CRC wall ride, which would be the only downfall on him, but yeah, to have a chase run available like that, you've got to have a stellar lead run, and we often overlook that.
Fanga, in my experience, doesn't appreciate anyone touching his car in a battle.
He definitely doesn't mind. He doesn't mind when it's us.
Yeah, there's usually a return of serve in the following battle. In my experience, having watched him drive, what has he been doing it? 23 odd years now. He's been in the sport, and I've probably been around a similar amount of time. So I would expect Fangadan to put a similar, if not more, amount of pressure on David Hunter this time. They will roll out of the TTI scrub blocks, out of the Monster Energy launch zone into the Link ECU initiation. Ben, pull them through for me.
Bit of a gap opened up here straight out of the zone there. David Hunter has created a bit of a gap. It's a little bit more shallow than Fanga was in outer zone 1 and 2. Nice quick switch. I'm going to guarantee Fanga's going to be trying to gain that proximity back up. David Hunter, but I'm wondering if the judge is going to be looking at Hunter tapping that cone in that zone, if it's a touch too wide. There's contact.
I told you
contact.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to push you straight. I'm going to do a rolling burnout.
Something happened there with Hunter's car.
Yeah.
Something happened before the contact, and Fanger just served him.
Yeah, signed the door and then signed it again and then went, okay, third time is the charm. But as you did point out, Benny, you picked it up. There was that big gap early on there, but then David, I think maybe almost, I mean, a couple of guys have talked about whether you're sort of out of tyre and whether they just maybe misjudges through here. He's wide of the line. If you've hit those cones, you are a metre deeper than you should be.
Yeah.
And then, did you see a shutdown here maybe, was it?
Not a shutdown, but something definitely happened. So Hunter enters the CRC wall, right? And it comes out of it. So there's definitely something that's happened there a third of the way around. But good on him. He's been served by Fanger Dan and then kept it going. So that's a good thing to do before creating a bit more large contact. But I would say that's going to be
an interesting interview.
Fanger Dan through.
Well, if anyone's maybe going to stop Connor Halligan on the charge he's on at the moment, maybe it is the veteran. But we'll wait for it to lock in because we are, of course, not the judges of fact, Ben. We're just the commentators. The three wise men, Darren Kelly, Taylor James and Andrew Redwood, are, of course, responsible for decisioning each and every one of the battles. And it is locked in, and it is Fanger Dan.
Wow. I've seen some intense battles, you two. I hope you're friends.
Oh, we're definitely friends. You just said, oh, his car cut out on the last corner, and I was like, oh no, I hope the judges don't look at that and go, oh, Fanger's hit him and he's, upset him, but he just told me he's like, his car fully cut out. But man, that was lucky because he really gapped me off the line, and I was just wheel spinning and just had to play catch up. So, but yeah, awesome leads, and yeah, David's going really well. It's good to see him that his car's holding together, and like that's where I started in one of those, and this is where we are. So yeah,
mate, entertainment 5-star, 5-star entertainment, mate. Oh God Almighty, you two, hey? How good, like a couple of young lovers going at it.
Oh, he did say he was going to put it on the door, and he definitely put it on the door. Shot Fanger, cheer, bro.
Yes, you did.
I just looked down. My AccuStump handle was obviously turned closed after priming up in the pits, and we didn't turn it back on. So I would say what's happened is I've come into that last corner. It actually cut on me chasing Fanger prior to it, and I sort of was like, I should be right, because it carried on for the rest of the run. And obviously, yeah, just all pressure might have just dropped a little bit too low, and yeah, it's just caught us out in the last bit, and Fanger just awered us.
Mate, you've put on a show today, and we really appreciate it, buddy. Good points.
Gutted, but it is what it is, though. Cheers, Stephen. Appreciate it.
Good to see you back flying, matey. Okay, Joe, I think you've got a probably pretty gutted Dave Seidman.
To track Dave down, he was partway through his 5-minute call, but has withdrawn. What happened on that first run?
Yeah, absolutely gutted, to be fair. Initiated sweet as third gear, as I have been, switched back into OZ4 and dropped down to second, and just nothing there. Bag of neutrals, second and third are gone. Sorry, Scotty, he biffed into me. He had nowhere to go, and there's just too much damage for us to do anything about it. Absolutely gutted to go out that way. But yeah, thank our sponsors so much. Mimico, Hydrolink, NMT, and all of our amazing partners that enable us to get here, and our amazing crew. These guys, they gave me the ingredients to make the cake today. Unfortunately, the machinery let me down.
Well, you came into this round as the points leader. You're still going to be up there in second because the guys below you have had a little bit of a tough run this round. You've got all to live for Bay Park, the home round. Is it going to be able to get fixed in time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be. It's our home round. We're going to bring it there no matter what. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun. This track is really, really cool, and I desperately hope we come back here. But yeah, Bay Park's going to be just as off the hook. So bring it on.
We know you love it there, so we'll see you at Bay Park.
Well, Benny, he goes from dangerous Dave to disappointed Dave this afternoon. Just unfortunately, just not able to continue his fight for the championship. He will be back at Bay Park. But speaking of back for Bay Park, this young man looking super dangerous at the moment, Daniel Edwards for Shop Pro out front. He has nothing to lose. He is only doing rounds 4 and 5, and he is owning zones 1, 2, and 3. Jaron Olivecroner doing a great job in the chase position here, but Daniel Edwards just throwing it down very nicely here, and he will come along the CRC wall ride as he has all weekend. Jaron Olivecroner slightly shallow there, goes to the outside. Jaron takes a different line through there. Big lazy sort of switch from that car, just sort of shortcuts and doesn't kind of do all of Zone 5. I'm not sure whether it's a conscious choice from him. I think he did biff the wall quite hard on Friday.
We see Daniel Edwards there. Yes, a very good lead run. Just leaving a little bit on the table out of Zone 1. I can see there. It's actually good to have a look at these angles because that shows me what I might have been doing wrong.
Well, we did talk about this last time, didn't we? Whether it gave you an unfair advantage.
Daniel Edwards doing a stellar out of Zone 3 there and bringing it into the CRC wall ride. The cool part about Daniel's car is that wing, the side plate, as you watch it, grazes across the top of the K-rail.
Yeah,
we
that's
watched it do it yesterday.
Yeah, if Connor Halligan is the benchmark, then he is not far off. They are both right in there, owning that CRC wall ride. Switch over now. This is interesting for Jaron Olive-Krona because this would be a real breakthrough for Jaron and his team if he can make the top 4. They haven't been there before. Daniel Edwards has been on the podium in Pro Sport, but hasn't been there in Pro. Being this is his first time out, and this is some solid driving from Jaron. I'm really impressed with how he is attacking the track. Maybe, as he said earlier, maybe just bending it a little bit has actually helped him in terms of just giving less F's about it. And this is nice. Buries it deep in out of Zone 4. Just got to extend up here. This has been his real sort of, I guess, bogey part of the track. But this is, Jaron tags the wall, comes back down again, hits it again. But that is the deepest in the wall he's been all weekend. So, not like for Jaron, great drive out front there. You go lead for lead, you go chase for chase, Benny.
Just looks like he didn't get into the zones here though, Warren. As he comes down to outer Zone 2, he's pretty much out on the outside of that box. So Daniel Edwards definitely a little bit deeper in his lead.
Too far down the track is what you're saying there, yeah.
This chase from Daniel Edwards, especially this part, and going into the wall ride is just clinical. He's done a very good job here to stay in that pocket and just out of that smoke. So as he flicks into this final corner behind Jaron, just getting into that CRC wall ride a touch late, and that ruins his trajectory, which then causes him to have that contact with the wall. So yeah, Daniel Edwards done a great job there chasing Jaron.
Alrighty, thank you, Ben Jenkins. We're going down to Stephen McIvor very shortly for a result and an interview. And going through to the top 4, Daniel Edwards.
What do we keep saying? Dave Steedman's out. You're driving like a maniac and winning battles. What are you thinking?
I'm puffed. that was hectic. No, I'm ready to take it all the way now. So first round in Pro, I'm stoked with the outcome already. Even just qualifying yesterday. But we're here to take it out now.
Mate, there's fighting words. All right, Dan Edwards. I'm ready to take it all the way. All right, it's so good to see Jaron Olive-Krona at the right end of battles for once. You seem like you and that Hartley V12, which I could listen to all day, are at peace with each other.
Yeah, we are. I think we've finally got on top of it. We've made, honestly, so many changes to the front steering, and I think we've actually got the winning recipe now. Now it's just up to me to really put it all together, and make it work. But hey, while I've got you, huge shout out to Past Trader and all my team. Again, they've been absolutely amazing. And also my ex-work bestie, Kayla. I know she's watching back at home and she's been asking for a shout out for weeks.
Mate, it's been entertainment plus, mate. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, really have. And well done to D1NZ, all the volunteers. Honestly, absolutely amazing event.
Love it, mate. That beautiful Hartley V12. It is sweet. It's what actually F1 should be. This whining, screaming V12. Anywho, we're going to take a wee break if you're in the H BlackBee Drift Park, but we're coming back because the top 4 is on us.
Hey, are you guys having fun out there at H BlackBee Drift Park? Give me a little wave if you're still having a good time here at D1NZ. Yeah, give me a wave. Yeah, who's got a... Oh, okay, so we've got Scotty D out there doing a mechanical lap, which is why you can't hear me, because there's a screaming 2JZ BMW, and the reason for that is, of course, that he biffed that into David Steedman earlier, but Keisuke, real turn up for the points table there, so it's now advantage Halligan if he can drive this home.
Yeah.
being a number 1 qualifier, then if he can beat Fangadan, then the minimum he goes home with is 80 points.
Yep.
So that will mean that he will at least close up or possibly overtake Dave Steedman heading out of here. It'll be very, very close if he wins. Then definitely goes out of here with the series lead. I don't have the exact calculations in front of me.
No,
But we hope you are having a great time here at H BlackBee Drift Park, and I'm going to shout out all of our locals while we've got a chance. Shout out to all of the locals. Out of 2 Forests, H BlackBee Contractors, H BlackBee Crushing, Tairāwhiti Contractors, Curry Construction, Launch Construction, Perma Group Gisborne, Gisborne Hiabs, Porter Hire Gisborne, Gisborne Boys High School, Awapuni Speedway, Trust Tairāwhiti, Giz Build, Duke's Carriers, Container Space, Stone Transport, Inline Marking and Sheds for you. Thank you all so much for being here, and we appreciate you. We are at top 4 time. We're about to go back to Sky TV. D1NZ, round number 4, comes to you from Tairāwhiti Gisborne. Round number 4 on Tairāwhiti. The coast of the rising sun brings you the sport born in the land of the rising sun, and we are at top 4 time. Keisuke Nagashima. Yep. It is the business end of competition. We have Connor Halligan locked in against Fangadan. We have Scotty D on an absolute tear up against Dan Edwards. Can you pick a winner at the moment?
I can't. I mean, those last 4 battles, mate, they were unbelievable to watch. I mean, they were just door to door. Everyone's doing as the judges wanted. I mean, the judges had a hard time trying to make, get the results to the fans, and I'm looking forward to the top 4.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you at the moment. I would really love a driver from the right-hand side of the tree to win. It feels right to me. We're at a first-time venue. We're in a first-time location. To have a first-time winner would be just a fitting way to crown this event and just to finish it off. I'm not going to be mad if Connor Halligan or Fangadan goes through, and both those drivers deserve it equally, but if we saw Scotty D or Daniel Edwards standing on that top step as well, that would be phenomenal. So top 4 time it is. The old stager, the wily old Cody Fangadan, at the moment, the driver who's in the best form in the series, and Connor Halligan. Scotty D just always smiling, just looks so confident. I spoke to Hans's crew chief earlier, and he was just saying, look, Scotty is just in the groove. He got married a little earlier in the year, and he's feeling really good about things at the moment, and he's got
done
things
the
sorted.
most laps at this course, which is phenomenal for Scotty, and obviously Dan Edwards just stepping up into pro, debut pro day today, and he's gone to the top 4.
Yes, so Dan Edwards, a man who knows his way to the top of the podium because he's been there with you, mate.
Yes.
Tried to knock you off your perch and you punched him in the face. No, not quite, but
just a love slap.
Yeah, you, Dan Edwards and Dean Young had a pretty solid battle for that Pro Sport title. I was actually going to point out to you before we were talking about this, we had like 2 Pro Sport champions battles being called by a Pro Sport champion. It was actually quite a nice little progression journey for D1NZ. What do you reckon happens here? Does Connor lead or does Connor chase? Do you give Fanger the opportunity to throw down a lead first?
If it was me, I would probably lead first just to see where Fanger is, and if Fanger's on your door, as he normally is, I would have to just make sure that you push for that second lap, and obviously there will be a little bit of a grip difference between the first and second runs, so putting yourself in the chase position, but I think Fanger is leading.
Yeah, so Connor's stuck with his same strategy, so he has said lap after lap that he feels the tyre is going off by the end of the second lap, so he prefers to be leading in that situation. So here we go, hanging back a little bit here, Fangadan initiates into the outer zone 1, gets outer zone 2, he opens the door right up. Connor Halligan, once again he is surgical, he is in position there, transitions nicely behind Fangadan.
Just has the transition.
Fangadan has been tagged by Connor Halligan, such as the pressure he's trying to put on. Fangadan opens the door back up. Connor Halligan doesn't back off one little bit, and this is a phenomenal run here in the top 4 from both drivers. Fangadan buries the quarter in the wall, and here comes Connor Halligan. Gisborne Tairāwhiti, put your hands together for Connor Halligan. Fangadan
What a phenomenal run
What was
from the both
it?
of them.
Just the rear cowl? I think it's just a
It's
minor
just the
piece,
garnish,
right?
yeah, it's the middle garnish, but unbelievable transition there by Connor. Obviously, as we go into the GT radio replay here, Connor surges up on Fanga's door. You can probably smell him from there, being on the left-hand side of the car, and there is where they made a little bit of contact on transition, but yeah, I mean, realistically, it didn't affect how the lead run was by Fanga, filling that outer zone and outer zone 4. Connor right there with him, just switching back and making sure that he's right there, surging in front of him, just to get that proximity back as Fanga fills that outer zone, taps the wall. Connor readjusts, and not a problem for both of them as they cross the finish line.
I thought it was a really good choice by Connor, right? Just to make a decision to kind of set himself up on a line where he could kind of enter that outer zone 5 and put himself in close proximity. So we take a look at our three wise men there who are responsible for decisioning things in the container space judges booth, along with our clerk, of course, and somehow Luke Fink and James McManaway are still in there, but I guess like they can kind of do what they want, right? So if you have actually just joined us on the broadcast, unfortunately Luke was unable to take part in the battle. So call it through.
All right, run 2. Connor Halligan in the lead. Fangadan in the chase. Connor aggressive as always into the initiation. A little bit of adjustment there as he fills outer zone 2 and 3. Fanga's still there with him. Is he going to gain that proximity on the switch here as they go into outer zone 4? Connor, as always, through zone 4, very deep. Fanga, a little bit of a gap between him and Connor as they transition into the CRC wall ride. And Connor, as always, just in deep in there with him. Fanga doing the same thing, but a bit of a gap between Connor and Fanga there, Warren.
Connor Halligan has had a really interesting habit over the course of the weekend. He is picking up speed through the radius of the corner. We talked about this a little bit at the last round. Now, there is definitely a mistake on entry there from Connor Halligan, and the judges will mark him down slightly for that, but he just stretches the legs, and Fanga didn't really seem to have a speed answer for Connor Halligan. You watch how fast Connor picks up speed going around this corner. He's actually extending the gap out in front of Fangadan, but he's out right on the outside of the zone, right? Like Fanga's got no answer for that, and then just stays on that line, stays in the power, and he just extends away again. Fanga tries to close up here, but then Fanga actually tags the wall there so hard he's pushing it, and then Connor just keeps on that same radius arc, and it honestly wouldn't surprise me if he maybe got a one more time out of it, but no. Clean call it is to the final. Connor Halligan!
I tell you what, it's getting harder.
Yeah, I know, we're having to push pretty hard. We're picking up a heap of rubber in the scrub box, and I think it's sort of mucking with the front grip, but hey, we're just running it. It's so fun out there, we're having to push 100%, so loving it.
Got a final to win.
Yeah, let's get it done.
All right, let's go across to Popper. You still got it.
Oh, old boys can still do it, eh? I'm having a ball. I guess the only thing we're struggling with is actually just getting the run up to be on them right at the start, you know, like I'm just wheel spinning all the way. So you fall a little bit behind, you play catch up, but we're doing mean lead runs, and let's, you know, try and get on the podium still with third and fourth to come up, isn't it?
It is indeed. Let's see what happens in the other one.
And can I just make a quick shout out to my little man at home? You know, he's been really unwell for the past 8 weeks. So, Jesse James, this is going to be for you.
Dad's still got it, pal. He's still got it. Get out of here.
Still goes all right, doesn't it, the old fella?
He does.
There's a bit of calculation going on in the background, Keisuke. So I have had it confirmed for me by an official that Connor needs to win. So Connor needs to win in order to be leading the championship going out of here. If he does not win and he comes in second, then we believe that Dave Steadman will still be leading the championship.
Right.
But there will effectively be no difference between them. It will basically be the difference between qualifying first and qualifying third at Bay Park, and that will be a phenomenal title fight. So even if Connor wins, his actual advantage will be 14 points.
There you go.
Which means first versus second at Bay Park, second versus third, conversely, is enough to get it done. So a title fight for the ages this year. I think it's great. I love the fact that in past we've sort of had someone run away. But anyway, let's get back to the action on track here. Keisuke Nagashima, it is accelerating off the line. Scotty D and Daniel Edwards. Daniel Edwards in the lead position. Needs to get out wider there, does Daniel Edwards. And Scotty D tucks right into the pocket there. Scotty D with nice proximity. Daniel Edwards fills up out of zone 3 nicely. Daniel Edwards has really excelled through 4, through 5 this weekend. Scotty D slightly to the inside there, putting the pressure on the Shockworks driver, and Daniel Edwards now will extend out. He's taken the end plate off the wing, and here comes Scotty D, surging up, putting the pressure on. 2 young hard chargers cross the line. Put your hands together, Tairāwhiti Gisborne.
What a run by both of them, eh? I mean, it was one of those things where, you know, Dan Edwards put on a stellar lead as we watch the GT radio replay here. I mean, outside there going, and Scotty just just diving into Dan Edwards' door as they fill out of zone 2 and 3. Switch back, good aggressive switch there by Scotty. He preempts that switch coming into out of zone 4, and Dan always filling that out of zone 4 very, very well as they go into the concrete wall, and Scotty right there with him. He just does a little bit of a funky transition there behind Dan, but does well to adjust and get back on Dan Edwards' door as they go around the CRC wall ride and across the finish. So I'm looking forward to the second run.
I'm excited, Keisuke, by this. This is great. This is new, fresh faces at the top end of the field. Like we've been doing this for a while. We see the same kind of things playing out all the time. Fresh new venue, fresh new drivers, fresh new challenges. I love it, Keisuke. I love bringing the action to you from D1NZ round number 4. Tairāwhiti Gisborne. Scotty D's turn to lead here. Initiates nicely into the GT radial turn number 1. Gets H BlackBee out of zone number 2. Fills up out of zone number 3. Right out on the wall there is Scotty D for Earthworks. The 2JZ BMW absolutely singing, but Dan Edwards. Oh, Scotty, he's pushed too deep. Scotty, he's in there too aggressively. Daniel Edwards right in the pocket there, putting the pressure on. Scotty went too far and he hit the cones there. Maybe feeling that Dan Edwards' machine breathing down his neck a little bit, and Tairāwhiti, that is a run. 2 great hard charges there. Scotty D and Daniel Edwards. Scotty D, I think, unfortunately, has probably, as much as anything, beaten himself there by just exceeding the track limits. That I would have been happy to watch that again.
Yeah, me
I
too.
could have watched that again and again. But I think right here, you see Scotty D just fires up the track. 1, 2, 3, which will mean that he's a metre past where he should have been in terms of exceeding track limits. Stays in it somehow. He's got that car so settled and dialed, though, this weekend. And Joe will make someone's day and send someone to the final. Daniel Edwards to the final.
This is a bit of a fairy tale for you, Dan. Your first time into pro, just thought you'd feel it out ahead of next season, but you're really making your mark.
I'm trying to get through these battles one by one, but we're here to take it now, and I'm having a little bit of clutch issues, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. We're here. We're on.
Or a clutch issue, is he just teasing some potential mechanicals to try and get a bit of an advantage? We'll see how he goes in the final. Scotty, you're looking so comfortable out there. How is it?
Oh, it's bloody good. Shit, the cars are just a lot more loose now. I don't know what's changed, but we've done it right on the chase, but just coming in the last corner, that out of zone 4 just had no bite to go forward. But oh no, Dan's done an absolutely awesome effort for his first round, but we're having a good time, mate. Just sun's out, guns out, mate.
Awesome. It looks like a really awesome time out there.
Bloody good. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Keisuke, unless I'm mistaken, did Scotty D not used to crew for Fangadan?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, he served as an apprenticeship in drifting with the FDC Motorsport team. So, look, we're about to go into the top 4 here at Gisborne Tairāwhiti. We are about to see a couple of fun laps being done by Sean Potros. I got no idea what you're about to see. Like, it's Sean, he's going sideways, he's got nothing to lose. I wonder if maybe Boss is in the car with him or something, or a special guest. So we're about to see a couple of entertainment laps from Sean Potros and the SMP Champ Vision H BlackBee sponsored machine. Again, a massive shout out to all of our partners who have brought drifting to the east coast of New Zealand for the very first time. Our D1NZ partner sponsors: Monster Energy, 10 Tools, G-Shock, Smart Steel, Schmick, Cora Fuel Card, Logitech, GT Radial, TTI and Link ECU, and our partners locally, Aratu Forest, H BlackBee Contractors, H BlackBee Crushing, Tairāwhiti Contractors, Curry Construction, Launch Construction, Permagroup Gisborne, Gisborne Hyabs, Porter Hire Gisborne, Gisborne Boys High School, Awapuni Speedway, Trust Tairāwhiti, Gisbuild, Duke's Carriers, Container Space, Stone Transport, Inline Marking and Sheds for you. So thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. We have loved being here. We hope to be back again. We hope you've enjoyed the show. And Keisuke, how would you say thank you in your native tongue, in Japanese? So,
thank you very much. Oh, no. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou. Thank you very much to the people of Tairāwhiti, the Ibi of, sorry for that. That's, I'm not sure if that, is that Kim or Zalia just on the back there? I'm not sure who that is leaving the venue, but it is a closed private road at this point in time, so they're not breaking any rules or regulations. There's Launch Master Willie down there on the start-finish line. Hello, Willie. Are you having a good time down there, mate? Give us a wave, Willie. He told me he turned up his headphones loud so he didn't have to listen to me.
Fair enough.
Willie is only here, by the way, because he was promised genuine Gisborne boil-up. That is why Willie has come to Tairāwhiti. He wanted genuine Gisborne boil-up. We have enjoyed the hospitality of Gisborne. Keisuke, you and I have enjoyed some pretty decent coffee. We've enjoyed some bakery
great
food.
Meals,
Had a great feed at the TAV last night. So I thank you to the team at the TAV for looking after us. Thank you to the team at Tudor Park Motel for looking after us. I think
Top 10.
The team from Tudor Park are here as well. So thank you. Oh, we have. So it has just been confirmed. It is Boss. So it is Boss getting in the passenger seat here. I think this is going to get wild.
It's going to be good.
It is going to be interesting to see what happens. It almost wouldn't surprise me if one of the other BlackBee cars went out there and chased them door on door, just because I'm sure that's how they party. Maybe if you gave Blake Miles a nudge, he might want to go out there and do that. Although
he probably would.
I did hear that Blake Miles has a victory skid potentially in mind, so he might be wanting to blow the guards off that one. Doesn't have to be very nice to it because he's your champion.
He's good.
He's your Pro Sport champion for 2026. But on the pro side, Keisuke, Connor Halligan needs to win the final to be leading going out of here. If he does not win, Dave Steedman will have a small lead going into Bay Park. Now, tickets are now on sale. I believe we are also taking expressions of interest for the corporate boxes. There are still sponsorships available as well. If you want to get involved with the Bay Park Drift Grand Finale, I'll be there. Keisuke will be there. Keisuke, I don't know where he'll be because he wants to drive. Are you still having a good time up there in VIP? Give us a wave if you're up there in VIP. Do you guys have any hydration left, or have you run out? Because I heard a story about you guys being a little bit thirsty yesterday. Is that true? There's a few red faces. Oh, you guys are just sunburnt, hey? You guys are just sunburnt up there. There's a drone above you, by the way, so we can see you. That's how close we can get to you. So thank you to the people of Gisborne for coming out and supporting D1NZ. We hope you have had a great time here. We hope you have had a chance to go down and check out the hard park, also check out the merchandise that is available. A number of the teams had T-shirts for sale up to size 7XL. That's a decent size T-shirt. You and I could probably fit in that together. I think it'd be kind of weird, but we could probably fit. Yeah. So we're just going to take a look. I think the drone's just trying to see how fast it can go around the track now. So this might be a bit weird, or I don't know if you guys can even see that. But the drone is now doing a lap at max speed, I think, just to see how fast the team can fly around the track. Somebody told me those things go like 150k an hour, right?
Yeah, they go really fast,
Yeah, and if you were to actually be, like if you were near one, it would actually just take your fingers clean off, right?
Easily,
yeah. I have seen somebody fly one just for entertainment purposes. I've seen someone fly one directly into the light tower at Merry Drift Track. Was trying to show how fast it could go, and he just smashed straight into a pole, and it wasn't very good after that.
No, I wouldn't have done that.
All right. Oh, there is Mama Potros. Hello, Mama. You're on TV. Have you got T-shirts left? How many have you got left? I can see the SMP BlackBee Champ Vision collab T-shirts there for sale down there in the merch area. Sean's about to get wild. I don't really feel like we need to talk over this, Keisuke. We just need to. We'll make a bet. I'm going to say 8,000. How many times do you think Sean's going to hit in the middle?
A lot.
A lot. 8,000, 9,000. We'll just see what happens. But the boss is in the car.
Yep.
And that's the main thing. You just see Boss's head bounce off the seat. Give Boss a wave. Give Boss a wave as he comes around. I don't know if you guys just saw that, but he just 360 that off the track back down the chute. I don't know if there's any tyres left or not.
Yeah, I think
but
he learned that
Sean,
from D1 McIvor.
Yeah, I think is he going to turn around and come back again, or is he just doing one?
I think his tyres are done, yeah.
Tyres done. How good was that? Gisborne Tairāwhiti. Did we like that one? Hey, I did ask a question yesterday. Did you guys want to still see like a 10-car train just for entertainment? Would you guys like to see a 10-car train?
There's a lot of yeses.
There is, there is.
That's for sure.
My question is just who wants to be brave enough to be in the middle of it? Apparently, if you're first, you're right, and if you're last, you're all right. But in the middle, not so good. Not so good. So we are just waiting for the third and fourth place battle, Fangadan, Scotty D, and then Connor Halligan versus Daniel Edwards. We are running to time certain, so we do have to be finished here by 4:30 p.m. today when we're off air on Sky Television. And we will, of course, do our victory celebrations and some burnouts, hopefully. So for our Sky TV audience, I think you're about to see some highlights of what's played out here so far today. For those of you watching here at H BlackBee Drift Park, you're just going to have to enjoy, unfortunately, listening to me talking again over the top of this as we watch a replay here of Braden Mayer, young Braden, up against who was Braden against? Jordan Joyce. I was momentarily thinking it was Stocky Griffin, but he had a motor problem. This has been it has been a bit of a car killer, hasn't it? It's been a very hard weekend. For the cars, and I feel like some of the teams are going to have some pretty serious work to do. We heard Dave Steadman say gearbox before. We've had Alex Griffin say motor. We know Kurt Blackie's fighting the car a bit. Jaron's bent that car up a bit. I think maybe Johnny Latham seems to have some issues again. Wuretskake wasn't able to come out and battle, so that was unfortunate for him. Looking down the tree here, who else did we have? Benny J somehow, I don't know how Ben did it, but he jumped up here and commentators hexed a few people just to keep himself in the hunt for a season podium. I'll tell you what, she's going to be a battle, Keisuke, at Bay Park. Phenomenal end to the season there. If you haven't got your tickets already, then grab them now, or potentially see if you can convince someone to put you in a corporate box, something like that. But Bay Park definitely going to be the place to be. You and I will be there enjoying festivities along with Steve and Joe and the rest of the team. I don't imagine we will see Benny because he will have only one purpose in mind behind the wheel of the Phoenix Radiators machine. But all of our drivers will be back. And have you heard any rumblings about who might be making a guest appearance? Because we usually see one or two. I've heard rumblings potentially of Case PB.
Right.
I have heard the regular chatter around Cole Armstrong and Calvin Clark.
Yeah. Team Green.
So we haven't really seen them. Liam Burke's car is running at the moment, and the Animal was definitely always one to watch there. So if you added those drivers in, then we could potentially have a 32 overruns. So we may even have some drivers who don't get to battle potentially if a few other drivers elect to step up, because we don't have Aaron Habib here this weekend. So Aaron Habib will come back.
Yes.
He will come back into competition. There's probably a few other names floating around as well that we haven't mentioned a lot this week. Jeremy Slamet's not here, so Jeremy Slamet maybe comes back into competition. But we're at the business end now, Keisuke. Third and fourth place. Do the honours, my friend. Call them off the line.
Right, number one run for Top Ford. Fangadan in the lead. Scotty D in the chase. What can Scotty do in the chase? Fanga, very, very aggressive initiation as he comes and fills outer zone 2. Goes out to outer zone 3. Scotty there right with him as they transition into outer zone 4. Scotty, can he get that proximity as they go around outer zone 4? Fanga doing a very, very good job there, putting a lot of angle, filling that zone very nicely as they switch into the CRC wall run. Oh, Scotty into the wall and keeps it as they both finish across the line.
How in the 2JZ BMW did Scotty D throw that backwards into the wall and hold on to that without hitting it? You guys in live stream and on Sky TV are going to see, as we watch this GT radio replay, Fangadan with the big aggressive initiation, exactly what we knew was going to be. master and the apprentice, right? Scotty D used to crew from. Scotty D knows exactly what to expect here from Whangadan, the wily old veteran. Whangadan opens up the door here through outer zone 4, and then watch this as they come into the CRC wall ride. Scotty D transitions, and then he actually just fires this car in backwards at 90 degrees somehow into the wall, keeps it going off the wall, stays in drift, and puts the pressure on Whanga. And that is phenomenal from both, Keisuke.
It was. I'm looking forward to this next battle because obviously both drivers doing everything that they can to put on a show, and let's see what happens.
Well, the technical factor here, as Whanga mentioned earlier, is the speed on the chase, right? Being able to hang with Scotty D's very rapid Earthworks 2JZ BMW. Scotty's going to attack this, got no other choice, and he will send it, and he will see, and it'll be catch me if you can, old fella.
It will be. I mean, Whanga obviously putting this run towards for his son, so he's putting all his heart and soul into this run, as you can see in that initiation on that first run, as we watch for run 2 as the lights go green, and they are off. Scotty D and the Earthworks E92 in the lead. Whangadan in the chase. What can they do as they initiate into the first initiation? Doing a very good job by Scotty filling out of zone 2. Whangadan right there with him as they go into outer zone 3. Fills out of zone 3. Good transition by Whanga as they come back into outer zone 4. Scotty got deep into outer zone 4. Whanga right there with him. On door, and Scotty comes into the transition for the CRC wall ride. A little bit early, but Whanga right there with him, trying to stay on his door. That proximity has not changed since they got off their start line as they finished across the line.
Oh, Whangadan's still got it, hasn't he? Doing it for Jesse James. Keisuke, I literally saw one thing there. I thought maybe Scotty had a brief waiver on initiation. That was the only thing I see there that potentially could separate the two drivers. It would not surprise me at all if we had to go again in the 3rd and 4th place battle, which often happens, right? It is one of my little gripes there. Maybe some slightly closer proximity there as well from Whangadan on the GT radial entry there. Pretty solid for both drivers through outer zones 2 and 3 there. Whangadan maybe stronger through outer zone 4 potentially, but that would be very subjective. And then Scotty with that big attack through 5. Whangadan just a different approach to it, slightly shallower in the track and just with a slightly different approach angle-wise. So we wait for our 3 wires men, and I think we will get a decision here, or will it be on the podium? We may just get a no, we are going to see 3rd place is awarded to Daniel Woolhouse. Whangadan in 3rd.
Well, we had a bit of a master versus apprentice here, but here you are showing why you're still the master.
Oh man, I've had so much fun today. It's just, you know, the weather's put it on, Gisborne's put it on, all the spectators, the track suits me. It's just, I'm having a ball.
Awesome, so you take out 3rd place, keep your car here, stay around for prize giving, don't go far. Scotty, you just look like you're having a ball out there. This looks like the best time.
Oh, mate, it cracks me up. The car just never felt good after the contact, but it's always sick because you know Whanga's just going to rip it up. And I did the old Whanga bump and run on the wall back there, so that was a bit of excitement. But no, we're having a great time. I've only ever versed Whanga in John's car, so it's sick. You can always hear that thing rocking up your door. I'll just actually, in saying that, I need to thank Earthworks and just the team that have helped us here, like Trent Almarch's done a lot of work on the car for us this week. Even Tyre Power, like these guys have all helped. Our pit has just been awesome this weekend. To my new wife, she's been keeping us fed, and we've had a great time here.
Well, it's been awesome to see you climb your way, and against your Northland local, we'll catch you at Bay Park.
Nah, sounds real good to us. I don't know if we'll repair the back or not, but it's going to get run up anyway.
No need to repair it. There's only more concrete walls to come.
Oh, did Scotty D just give us one of the best post-run interviews ever? What a larrikin. Scotty is a character. Look at him grinning. He's having a great time there. For whatever reason, Keisuke, there is currently an online campaign running trying to convince Luke Fink to do a lap of the track on either a scooter or a forklift. I've got no idea why, but they want to see Luke Fink drive a forklift or a scooter. The Oversteer TV fans are waiting. So I've had that come through. I've relayed it now. Whatever happens of it is not my problem. Right, we're about to see a final, Keisuke.
Connor Halligan versus Dan Edwards, both scrubbing in the TTI scrub box as they come in, and this will determine who goes first and second.
Connor Halligan looks again like he is electing to chase. It's been part of his strategy. So he's going to say to Daniel Edwards, right, if you think you can take this battle, then I'm going to force you to do that, young fella. So here we go. There's I actually thought they were going to do a roll in there. I thought they were both looking at this,
speed,
just getting excited. They're going to build some speed here. So Launchmaster Willie has them under his control. He releases off the line for the final time here at Tairāwhiti Gisborne, round number 4 of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. It is Daniel Edwards' hand out the window. Daniel Edwards shuts down. The hand came straight out the window from Edwards. And what has gone on there for Daniel Edwards?
Maybe he wasn't lying about the clutch, right? He was having a bit of an issue in the top 4.
It's gone.
It's
gone.
gone.
He's gone. Daniel Edwards' clutch is gone.
Yeah, and he's going back, unfortunately.
As much as I don't want to see it, if Dan can't do this, I just hope Connor Halligan comes back and sends, just absolutely sends this final run. And I got to throw it out there. I want to see if he can better the 99-point run.
Me too.
Right, Dan's helmet's gone. Helmet's gone.
Yeah.
She's a duck. That's what Dan just said. I can read lips. She's a duck. That's what he's saying.
Yes.
There's a duck somewhere. It's quacking loudly.
It's quacking, yeah.
The Shock Pro shocks are great, but she's a duck.
Yeah.
He's shaking Connor's hand.
Yeah, good sportsmanship from both of them.
Daniel is absolutely gutted.
Yeah.
Absolutely gutted.
Give me a Dan. We'll just wait for... So this is not what we wanted. But this is what it's all about. So we'll get reaction from both of them. But first of all, we have to announce the winner of round 4 of D1NZ here at Tairāwhiti Gisborne, presented by GT Radials and, of course, presented to us by the Tairāwhiti Trust. Your winner for round 4, and he will move into the championship lead, is Connor Halligan. Wow, okay. Gutted for him. I know I heard you say that. I mean, his clutch is gone. He's got no spares, and he's done the sportsmanlike thing. That says a lot about the kid.
Yeah, 100%. That's obviously not how you want to win the event. So gutted for Dan, but yeah, stoked to get the win, I guess. Good points. We're in the championship lead. That's awesome. Yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind of a day, to be honest. But
yeah, well, let's just talk about your weekend, mate, because, you know, wet practice Friday, then you start getting into it. You do the highest qualification we've ever seen at this standard. What has clicked? What are the minutiae, the little things that have changed it?
Honestly, I just think this weekend, compared to the other rounds, is I just didn't have a broken car. Got practice. Went out and did like 15 laps in the wet at the start of the weekend, just learnt the track, and I think it's all just added up and it seems to have worked out, so I'd say that's the biggest difference.
You are getting closer and closer now to potentially being a drift king for the first time. And I know you said you were going to take it battle by battle, but now it's one more weekend of racing.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's going to be some pressure on at Bay Park. I think me and Dave are going to be pretty close in points still, so we're going to have to make it work, but yeah, that's pretty crazy.
All right, well, I'll get you to go over the podium and start thinking about that podium. Let's come back. Man, this was turning into a fairy tale, right? Sometimes they just don't happen. Talk to me about just the excitement of the weekend, knowing this 180SX has been so good to you.
Oh, it's been, up until now, it's honestly the whole time I've done drifting, this is the first mechanical fault I've actually had with the car. So it's built well. Jordan Joyce built this car, and it's been on the podium many times. He built a mean car.
Now, first time in pro, it was almost a fairy tale. I mean, as you got through battle after battle after battle, we going, oh no, this can't be happening.
I actually came in, I didn't know what to expect coming into this round. First time in pro, it was a big learning curve for me. The car's pretty much a pro sport setup, just with semis slapped on. And it's been a good learning curve, and I think I've done myself proud, even just with qualifying that high. But yeah, it's definitely a different ball game. I'm loving it.
Well, mate, I hope you think about staying in if you can find the right sponsors to look after you. I know you've got Shock Pro out there now. Yeah. You've shown us you belong right here.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
All right, where's Popper? Where's Fangadan? Because Fangadan, you go now. Dan, just go over to the podium so we don't lose you. We do have to do that podium celebration. Come over here, Popper. I know, I'm going to stop there. You're going to bash me. But you have performed yet again. I think you've gone to another level. There's something I talked to Kurt BlackBee about driving freer. You look like you're driving freer in the car this weekend.
Oh yeah, like, you know, I've got awesome support around me, you know, like I'm actually in a real happy place at the moment, and you know, like, you know, the boys all getting my car ready and team working good, and yeah, I'm just like, all right. We had not so bad, not a very good start to the season, you know, down in Tairāwhiti, and but I said to the boys, let's win the next 2 rounds. But we got on the podium. That's good enough. But watch out for the finals. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's stick there. Let's just look. I'm going to look ahead. How much hungrier does this make you that you're still racing, battling at the top level?
Oh, like, you know, like I want to be around for as long as I can, you know, I want to push myself. If I end up taking on a younger person under my wing to drive these Mustangs, you know, I want them to grow and to potentially train my young fella in 10 plus years time. So I ain't going anywhere, and I definitely won't let Jesse try and walk all over me, so I've got to stay on my game, you know.
Yeah, well, Jesse James will be home right now again. Thumbs up, Dad. Go get ready for another podium, mate. Well done, mate. All right, I want to talk to Alex Hawea over here. Come over this way, Alex, just over this way, because he's going to be presenting our trophies. He is the GM of the Maulder Economy and Tourism here for the Tairāwhiti Trust. When you were approached to get involved in this, what was your initial thought? I mean, it's a completely different ballgame. It's not always everybody's cup of tea.
No, you're right. Definitely it was one of those things you sort of had to think, and it was debated quite a bit in the office about, I guess, the benefit of it, and ultimately for us it's about bringing national events to the Tairāwhiti. We're in the media a little bit about can our region handle these types of events, and we're here to say, yeah, heck yeah, we want more and more of these types of things, bringing people into the region, showing what we've got, even just chatting with some of the drivers and some of the crew. Guys are loving the course, and so that collective, I guess, benefit for the region, we want more and more of it.
I want your initial reaction of the weekend.
Oh, absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. I spent my teenage years in West Auckland, and so I had a bit of flashbacks to jumping in the back of mates' cars and pretending to drift around all of those back streets in and around there. But no, absolutely awesome.
And there's been a good result from the community?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. And I think too, for us, shout out to other partners, you know, if it wasn't for the likes of the Boss BlackBees of this world and the Curry's Construction and the rest of them that have gotten behind this event, it wouldn't happen as well. So yeah.
Strong community, mate. You should be incredibly proud of yourself. And on behalf of D1NZ, thanks for getting behind the first ever.
No worries. Long may it continue.
Yeah, long may it go. Get ready to be the presenter for our official presentation on the Ting Tools podium for round 4 of the pros in D1NZ. Congratulations, first of all, to 4th position to Scotty Dinsdale in the Earthworks Construction E92. Just give him a round of applause, folks. They had a big weekend as Scotty. And in 3rd position in the Castroladia Mustang, give it up for Fanger Dan. In 2nd position in the Shock Pro 180SX and his debut in the pro level. Big shout out, Dan Edwards. And your round winner and new leader going into the final round to Mercury Bay Park of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship Pro and the Hog Hauler GS14, here's Connor Halligan. Gentlemen, you are more than welcome to raise those trophies high for those photos and those social medias that are going to go blasting around the internet. And below you, hang on, I can't see them. Do I see bottles anywhere? Oh, you can't drink it because you've got to do skids, but you can spray the hell out of it. And that's, folks, what looks for the end of 4.5 hours of driving and battling here at the H BlackBee Drift Park, a new drift park that's introduced itself to New Zealand, and it has been one hell of a success, bar none. But we do have some drifting to do, and that means skids. So, gentlemen, you are more than welcome to head out and do some victory skids and show the beautiful people here of Tairāwhiti Gisborne how you celebrate when you've had a great weekend of drifting. And I know Sean Potros is stuck out there, ready to go again as well. So the smoke show is about to go ballistic here at H BlackBee Drift Park. So get amongst it. We'll get some final thoughts now upstairs with Warren and Keisuke. Boys, what a weekend.
Oh, phenomenal weekend. Stephen, Keisuke and I are having a great time here in the box, and we hope the crowd here at Tairāwhiti Gisborne have enjoyed the sport from the land of the rising sun coming to the coast of the rising sun. Great to hear those positive words there from Trust Tairāwhiti, our partner for the weekend, investing hugely in bringing the D1NZ circus to town, and I think you guys have done a fantastic job hosting each and every one of these teams. We've put some money into the tills of your hospitality, of your accommodation, and I'm sure taken in some of the beautiful sights around here. Keisuke, I think we might have just seen, hands down, some of the best driving you and I have ever seen in what are quite lengthy careers in New Zealand drifting. Can you remember a round with as many close battles as that?
I mean, Bay Park, obviously, there's some, but Gisborne put it on, right? I mean, it was one of those rounds where everything's close, you're close up to the action, the spectators are there, they got the best viewing, it's been unreal. So, absolutely phenomenal, great weekend, glad to have been here.
Keisuke, things are about to get wild too. Don't go anywhere if you're still up there in the VIP seats or in the Drift Fox grandstands. We're just located around the edge because Mr. Potros is back in stage, and he has the champion in waiting alongside him, Blake Miles. 2 Champ Vision BlackBee Contractors affiliated cars about to come out and put on a show with nothing left to lose. No need to maintain pretty guards on the side, some singing motors, a fresh set of tyres, and absolutely zero Fs about anything, Keisuke.
They'll love it, mate.
Do you reckon we might see a Super 6 tip into that first corner? Is it possible?
I reckon it's possible.
I want to say a big thank you too to Joe from Joe Dirt Customs, who is just down there in front of Sean and Blake at the moment, and a big thank you to all of our staff and all of our officials this weekend and everyone else who is associated with bringing the D1NZ National Drifting Championship to Tairāwhiti Gisborne. We hope you have enjoyed the show here, and we thank all of our volunteers immensely for no doubt what will be a well-earned beverage later on today, but we do still have some celebrations here to go at H BlackBee Drift Park, and what I do know is the louder you go, the harder they go. So if you want to see these things blow the tyres absolutely off the rim when they come out, throw those hands in the air. I would grab your phones out because this usually gets quite wild. Last time we saw some cars nosed into walls doing burnouts. So we could see anything here at H BlackBee Drift Park, and I've got no idea whether the boss is still in Sean's car or who's in Blake's car or what's going on. He is our champion in waiting for 2026. He's done a phenomenal job. He has thrown down the gauntlet. His goal for Bay Park is he wants Luke Fink's points scoring record, so he wants to beat Luke's 442 from last season. Blake Miles, the qualifying ninja, looking to stamp his name on things, and I can hear engines firing to life, I think, Keisuke?
The guys are just getting out of the way.
Oh, that's what it is, right. So, yeah, don't hit anyone. Yeah. Probably had to move the media. Now, what have we got? Who's that? Stephen? No? Who's in the car with Sean?
Not sure.
No
idea.
Somebody
about to have the ride
is
of
about
their
to have
life.
the ride of their life in the Champ Vision SMP ganked out machine. H BlackBee Contractors, East Coast, Tairāwhiti. Oh, it might be Sam from Curry's potentially. Is it Sam? Does anyone know? Is it Sam? Yeah? It's Sam from Curry's.
Sam.
Oh, there we go.
Sick.
All right. Do you reckon he can throw a better mana wave than Boss did when he came around the corner? Because I reckon if you guys wave back, I reckon he can do it for you. All right. Again, prove my point for me. Prove that provincial New Zealand wants these events. Prove how loud you can get. Sean's doing a scrub at the moment, and then what we saw from him before is he launched straight out onto the track, and as soon as this goes off the line, Keisuke, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to let this thing sing because this should be entertaining.
Here he goes.
All righty, Tairāwhiti Gisborne, show some love to Sam Curry.
For our champion in waiting, Miles Motorsport team, where you at? And here is your champion in waiting for the 2026 season, Blake the Ninja Miles. They laid out the champ vision for Miles Motorsport, and he will come around and put an exclamation mark on his Gisborne Tairāwhiti experience. Tairāwhiti Gisborne, show some appreciation for your 26 champion in waiting at Pro Sport, Blake Miles. I don't go anywhere, by the way. We've got Fang and Dan about to unleash. Just waiting for Fang and Dan to get ready for his coronation lap, effectively, of third place finish here. Doing it, of course, for Jesse James this afternoon. You could feel that emotion, couldn't you, Keisuke? He's young Jesse's had a pretty rough 8 weeks, so young fella, if you're listening in, Dad is thinking of you, and he is doing this for you.
Yep,
he's going to go out there and put on a show. Comes home in third place. He's got a few of those trophies these days, so your dad's someone to be proud of, mate, and he certainly does everything possible he can to give you the best life you possibly could have. So let's listen to Fang It Down and the Coyotes sing.
Oh, the wall!
Well, he doesn't. Oh, just Fanger being Fanger, right? Oh, well. I'm done for the day. I'm going to just give the boys something to tidy up when we get back home. Signing off in style, Fang and Dan. I told you might get one nosed into the wall. Keisuke, somebody in that passenger seat is getting the absolute ride of a lifetime. There is nothing quite like the experience of going for a ride with Fang and Dan. I've been out there with him before. We got a fine. The tyre's gone. She's done.
Oh, Rhea's just bouncing around.
And then there'll be one. Connor Halligan about to put an exclamation mark on what has been his absolute... Yeah, Connor Halligan, it has been an absolute coming out of his party moment. And Keisuke Nagashima, that's going to be it for me and you here at H BlackBee Drift Motorsport Park. We're going to throw down to Stephen and Joe to finish out proceedings, but it has been our absolute pleasure to be with you. We'll be back with you at Bay Park. Down to Stephen and Joe.
Yeah, nice work, Keisuke. Warren Sare, top job all weekend. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. I've had a ball. I've had an absolute ball. Haven't been here in Tairāwhiti Gisborne for a long time. They put on a show, and we deserve to come back.
It's been amazing. The drivers have loved the track, the public have loved the track, we've loved the track. Can't wait to come back.
Yeah, and the community and all those wonderful sponsors, particularly Tairāwhiti Gisborne and Tairāwhiti Trust and Aratu Forest. There's so many to name. It's just so good to see that we are going down to the final round at Mercury Bay Park for the Grand Finale with a new leader in Connor Halligan. Rennie and Danny have been doing a sterling job, and they've been having a lot of fun. Harder than looks, I'll tell you that right now, but it's been a whole heap of fun. But Connor Halligan wins D1NZ Round 4 in Pro, and Blake Miles absolutely scintillating in Pro Sports. So on behalf of all of us, we'll see you at Mercury Bay Park, but Gisborne, we're coming back.